Hello, everybody. Uh, Welcome. Episode 3 of this hot new campaign that's coming at you. Sure, man. Uh, yeah, announcements. I don't have anything, but Kate has an Etsy shop. You can check that out at Kate Craft Studio US on Etsy. Kate also has a Redbubble. Um, you can check that out on Redbubble by typing in capital K, capital R, capital theater, spelled R-E, because it's the act of performing theater. Let's see, I remember from last week. Week. Sam, do you got anything?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Well. Sail. Well.
Last we left off, having become snagged in the canopy of this jungle, this now larger group, made of 3 smaller groups, quickly made their way out of the wicker basket of the hot air balloon and found themselves looking at what seemed like an otherworldly jungle of dark, gloomy mushrooms, glowing a dark purple and black from the bioluminescent moss everywhere. You all found a sign lying off the side of the road, which indicated the road you were about to follow led to something called Rotwallow Tower. You followed the road and came upon a towering jade statue of a strange dragon-like creature determined to be a Jabberwock, with the head of an archfey placed in an offering bowl at the base. The head belongs to Lord Oberon, and after a tense exchange, learned that Hopper may have served Oberon in some capacity as a knight or a guard of some sorts. As for the Jabberwock, it was discovered that various members of the group had recent run-ins with it, with Vonkar and Grin mentioning that this creature was responsible for the crash of the continent's most prized airship, the Whisper, in which the pair of them, along with the worst person in existence, the Creep, were passengers on during the attack, which was curious, since the rest of you would have heard stories of the airship, and the official story was that no survivors were found in the crater that the airship left behind when it crashed. Doe and Torger also mentioned that they had a run-in with the Jabberwock at the bottom of a place called Godbringer's Ravine, where they found a clutch of eggs, which confused those of you with knowledge of the Jabberwock, because the Jabberwock doesn't lay eggs or have young, because it returns to life after a set amount of years after death. It doesn't reproduce. After that, the path led towards an abandoned shack, where inside was a crumpled up note mentioning that someone had been teleported into this shack about 5 years ago, roughly around the same time as all these strange magical occurrences began around the world, and upon searching the shack, discovered that an elderly woman had died in the bed, and the shack became overgrown with mold and fungus. During this investigation, the party members that understood Sylvan heard a lullaby approaching from the south, and the source was coming from a strange creature resembling Grin in a way, but the size of a black bear, and covered in grotesque, weeping holes filled with a black milk-like fluid, where sprites, which canonically in my setting, just because I like how Grin looks, all sprites in my setting look like Grin. So this thing was walking around with little holes, weeping black milk, and little grins, other grins, living inside the holes, nursing. The creature was quickly killed, and after scavenging the creature for parts, you all sat down for a nice hot stew made by Leek, utilizing the mushrooms growing all over the shack, including the ones growing on the dead woman. And you all had a conversation about how you all learned to do what you had just shown off. After your meal and a short rest, you left the shack and have begun to make your way down the road towards what the sign called Rotwallow Tower. And we are going to pick up as you sort of walk down this gloomy dirt road in the jungle. And that's what we're gonna pick up right there.
I'm trying to figure out what our last topic of conversation was right before this.
It was, you all basically talked about your abilities and what you showed off during the fight. Torger mentioned getting punched in the face a lot and then deciding to start punching back, basically. Vonkar mentioned finding these ruins and like words written in giant, and after reading them, was able to do what he does. Antyr spoke a little bit about something called the Ascension, I believe. I think that was the word you used.
Yeah, we talked.
Hopper mentioned that they served Oberon as a knight. Leek mentioned that his adopted mother, made Cabbage, his little doll teddy bear you saw that burst into flames and grew arms out of it, was flying around spitting fire at people.
So,
Yeah.
how about you, Backpack? What brings you to, be with us? And we saw you do some things during that last battle. But,
to a table?
how'd you learn all that stuff? I think they gave inspiration or something.
Oh,
right?
dough.
Like
Yes.
there was,
Oh.
or like they did the mind thing. What is it? The insulting someone.
Mockery?
What's it called?
Vicious
Yeah,
mockery.
vicious mockery. I think that's what was done.
Yeah,
Just
I
so
was
you
going to say
know.
backpack, and I was so confused, Garrett. I'm
You
like,
had
wait,
turned
what?
into a backpack,
What?
right?
No, we had talked
No.
about it.
Oh, okay.
Never
never
did
mind
end up
then.
happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Table turn.
Yeah, table. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't know what to tell you. It just happens.
Yeah, right. How about that? I mean, they're
How did you learn to breathe?
yeah, right. If all this stuff comes as easy as breathing, then I guess we're in good hands. You can just do that stuff at will.
Yes and no. It does get a little bit taxing. It can't do it too often, but I can do it enough.
All right. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll see what else you can do. Hmm? You can turn into a table. That's real weird.
Is it?
I mean, I can't turn into a table.
You just see Doe take out their notebook again. They flip to a new page, and they just start writing a couple things down.
What else can't you do?
I can't throw fireballs. I can't swim too good.
Eyes cannot fail my city, ever.
What was that?
What?
Torger? What did you say?
Something about not failing the city.
I said I can get real itty bitty.
Oh, okay.
Really? How do you do that? How is that possible? Do you do that?
I do this.
Oh, so you'd use your enlarge reduce to go to 2 foot something?
Yeah,
Actually small.
Kind of like hopper size?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
like
like the
two-
size of Hopper.
Smaller
yeah.
than Hopper, probably.
Yeah, probably.
2'5".
Oh yeah, smaller. 5 inches shorter than Hopper.
Oh, well, so you get really small, and then Vonkar gets really big. Interesting.
Couldn't hear you, Sam.
Where's my mic at?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yep.
yeah.
Right. Oh, I can get small too.
Is that just a thing that you
Hmm.
did y'all learn from the same place to be able to do that?
Well, it's just something. I don't know. It's something you can do.
Yeah, I still know what you was talking about.
Couldn't tell if that was good or not, but
I thought it was great.
Oh no. It's because we're small. Yeah, I still knows what you're saying, but yeah, it's cool.
how long does this last? Usually,
I still know. Is it freaking you out too much?
no. It's
I
like,
know. Mark yourself for that.
Yep. That's done. That's done for 24 hours.
well, I can send Dallas up ahead.
No, don't worry about it. We'll send the creep up. God.
So the creep starts like waddling up the road ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna use an action to dash in front because creep tells him to.
Yep.
And then he'll like keep the same distance and use his action to blade ward.
Perfect.
So he'll stay like probably 30 feet in front.
Okay. Okay. All
And Dallas is going to
right.
be 30 feet above, like keeping like a perimeter check over the group.
And Dylus? Brandilus?
Yeah.
That's yeah. They're still enthralled with the fact that they can speak, and they're just like, yeah, woo! And they're just hollering as they fly around. Quietly hollering in your head, not out loud.
Okay.
So just this loud, like, echoing shout from Endless in your mind. As the creep stumbles forward, or shuffles forward. Somebody roll me a D100.
Great. Do the
Get it,
honors.
Lex. Get
No,
it.
you do it. Okay.
All right, I'll do it.
No, I'll do it. You already yelled.
Okay.
29.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I need the creep to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw from the creek. Whoop, whoop, doo. He's proficient in that, so that's a 17. Pretty good.
17. Okay, the creep just keeps wandering
Yeah.
up the road.
Creeps are, yeah.
Cool, alright. That was easy.
Yeah, warlocks.
After a bit, after like 20 minutes or so, the road takes a big like turn and goes deeper into the jungle. Give me a perception check for Endless.
Nice.
Couldn't hear you.
Sorry, no, I'm reading. Perception +3
Oh.
with advantage.
Advantage. I know.
Yeah, big
I know.
ol' eyeball.
I know. Not for long.
Right. Oh, nice. 19
Wow.
plus 3 is 22.
Okay. Saw 29 for a second.
No, it's I had to roll differently
Okay.
for some reason.
So,
Fine.
Endless will say, "Oh, I can see the tower. You'll be
Not
there in
fine.
about, judging on my eyes, you got half an hour and you'll get there.
All right, we have about half an hour to
It's big.
arrive. It's big. The tower, Rotwallow Tower, is 30 minutes ahead. We are on the right path.
All
right.
right. Well,
The thing's gonna snap and Endless is gonna disappear.
Okay.
Only tolerate so much
just
you
to
talking.
just to reiterate, we are doing this to investigate why this mushroom forest popped up in the first place, right? Like, this mission for us happened recently.
That is we're supposed to just investigate this place, correct? The spore
Yeah.
jungle.
And when we had done like checks, we had arrived here, it had appeared as though what was here before was pushed aside and replaced
yeah.
with this
Mm-hmm.
environment, and that is what it kind of appears like.
Yep. So
Did they? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a question too. Sorry for the statue of the Jabber.
yeah,
Yeah, the Jabberwock. That was also something that seemed like it came with the.
yes, very much
Spores?
came with
Okay.
the place. Yeah.
Okay.
The statue again was Vorpalon, Predator of the Sealy Court.
Right, I have that written down.
Orphalon.
And the house as well. The house that
The
the,
shack
person
also-
appeared in.
Shack was also
Seemed like it-
part of it. Yeah.
Part of it. Got it. So
Everything you've been seeing in this jungle is part of this
came
sporist,
with whatever
this
was
jungle,
happening.
or as everyone called it last session, the sporist.
Spores.
It's all everything you've been seeing is part of it that came with it. Creatures probably included, because you were told by Sir Arthur that people saw weird creatures on the tree line. Were like, fuck that. Yeah. As you continue on down the road a little more, you all do feel this overwhelming presence of being watched, just because you're in a weird place. It's unfamiliar, and I would like. There's technically 8 characters. Technically. I would like somebody to roll me a d8, and then somebody else roll me a d100.
I'll roll the D100 this time.
Before the d8's rolled, actually.
Okay.
Mhm.
D100.
Antyr. Pick a number between 1 and 8.
5.
Creep and Grin. Each number between 1 and 8. That's not 5.
1 for the creep, 8 for the grin.
Alright. Hopper will go 4. Leek will go 3. So we've got. I already forget.
2, 6, and 7.
Alright. Vonkar, you get to pick between 2, 6, and 7.
Age before beauty.
What did Vonkar pick? 2. Doe. 6 or 7?
7.
Alright, Torger, you're 6. Alright. D100.
Okay, here we go. 84.
And then somebody roll me a d8 and we'll see who this affects.
Got it.
1, 1, 1, 1. Damn. Oh,
Can't see that on my overlay. What was it?
7.
That was 7.
Go.
So it's Doe. Alright.
Fuck.
I need another d8 then.
Okay.
Let's have Doe roll this one.
No, put my life in someone's hands. Come on, don't put it in my own hands.
Rolling
Sam, your turn.
Already
Oh,
rolled
okay.
it.
Oh, okay.
3.
3 was
How did my buddy fuck me up?
3 was Leek.
No, but 3 was. You said to roll a d8 again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
and that
okay,
was a
okay.
3.
was Leek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool.
Okay.
Leek and Doe. Alright. Cool. As the two of them are walking, as you're all walking down this road, I need Leek and Doe to make charisma saving throws.
Mhm.
Whoopsie doodle. Nice.
17.
Leek gets a +2 to this. Hopefully you all see what I get. 8.
Yeah. Whoops.
So they're both walking down the road. Leek's just looking around all happy. He's eating bugs with his tongue. And then you see like there's brief shimmer of magic around Doe and Leek, and they both teleport and swap places. With Doe in the process of like eating the bug that Leek was eating. Just they both teleport places.
What?
What just happened?
What was it?
What the heck?
Doe's just looking at this bug. They kind of just shrug and they just go to eat it anyhow.
Kind of. It's Yuck in the teeth, though. Got a lot of them.
That was weird.
Did any of you know that wasn't you who did that?
I can't do that.
I wish I could see magic. Let's see. What happened? He's just gonna look around. Grin's gonna look around.
All right. Perception check.
Try to figure out if someone cast a spell on him or not.
You make a perception check.
Okay. I gotta look up his little statties here. +1 to whatever this roll is. Boom. Natural 20 for 21.
You don't
Very
see
nice.
anything. You just see your friends, a weird jungle, and maybe
it.
occasionally in the distance,
Wasted.
weird eyes looking
Wasted.
back. But nothing else happens for the rest of the walk. Eventually, you come upon a massive, sprawling bog of dark water, where patches of wilted, dark vegetation float on the surface of the water. In the center of the bog, stretching about 100 or so feet in the air, is an old, cracked stone tower, coated in mushroom-riddled vines. The top of the tower comes to a domed peak of ruby-red shingles. Surrounding the base of the tower is a small, muddy island covered in large, dark mushrooms. The road you're on leads to a small dock with a single, mossy rowboat with a lantern built into the boat that hangs on like a post. The lantern is filled with fireflies that give off an array of multicolored lights, and the road also branches off to a narrow road which goes deeper into the jungle.
That looks like the tower we're supposed to be going to, right?
I mean, it's supposed to be going to just knowing that it exists in this place. From what I understand, it wasn't here before. So, if I remember right, I think last session, it was mentioned that the significance of this tower, and it was like because, fuck. Come on, guys, back me up.
I said you wouldn't need to take notes during this campaign, so hopefully you and your allies have been taking notes. This is how you get paid. You have to give this information to Sir Arthur to get paid and stuff.
Right. All she mentioned, the old lady mentioned tower in the bog, but she avoided it in her letter.
Yeah.
It's literally all that because she had put it in the letter and said that.
Yeah, but if we're assembling everything right now, we know that this old lady was teleported into the Feywild, right? And then the Feywild was somehow teleported here later, recently, somehow.
Yeah, the letter.
And the statue where we found Oberon's head, it was implied that was a component to this change, to this teleportation, which is why I think the reason we still have the head on us.
Yeah, which is in the back. Well, it was part of a ritual that was placed in front of the statue of Warpalon.
Yeah.
Predator. So that was placed in like a basin.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. And then we had a whole conversation about this thing, and we found out that this whole jungle of spores, or popped up like probably right around the time that Vonkar and Grin's like ship crashed, because
the diaries was the diaries from 5 years ago.
The jungle would have appeared a little over a month ago, so a week or so before the airship crashed.
Yeah, like right before. Yeah. So that lines up with the Jabberwock that we encountered, everything like that. All of this stuff was kind of coming together. I just wanted to
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
know this
right.
comes off
It's-
as metagaming, but like
No, it's perfect.
It's just a refresher of like
yeah,
what we had disseminated
you
from
have
last
that
session.
information.
Yeah.
The letter did mention that the woman had been teleported to the jungle 5 years prior.
Yeah.
And that she'd been living in that shack for 5 years, and then this place had appeared a little over a month ago.
Yeah.
But her body had been like
Dead for a while.
for a while, so. But we could annotate that we found this tower, this Rotwallow Tower, and.
Or I mean, I
continue
think we have probably enough information to take back, but I mean, more is better.
always better, right? And this was the only place that had an indicator of the sign. This is the only place that had a sign that indicated any importance. So maybe we should at least look into it, investigate it, and then if we don't find anything else of substantial import, then we can head back.
Do you think, well, maybe I was gonna say I can do it myself. Don't worry. He's gonna ask your familiar to go. He's just gonna fly up.
Mm-hmm.
Grin's gonna fly up, and then just try to gauge like whether or not this tower is actually the epicenter of the jungle.
Cool.
The jungle of spore.
So you said you had to fly up to the canopy, and you get through the canopy.
Mhm.
That narrow road goes about maybe half a mile, and you hit the border
Okay.
of the forest. The tower is the only point of interest you can see.
Yeah. But does the tower seem like an epicenter? Like the center of this whole like
yeah,
thing, or
essentially,
no?
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. We'll go back down. I mean, this tower is like smack dab in the middle of the rest of this mushroom forest, so it seems like this is probably the best place to look for answers. More answers than what we've already, pieced together. Something solid for evidence. Where's that Vonkar?
Still can't hear you.
Is this any better?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened. How about still? My
Yep.
default.
It's quiet, but yeah.
So weird. I need to troubleshoot this in the break. but
Maybe you need an armature. Put it in front of your face.
I have one. It's right. I'm speaking into the microphone.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
While they're talking about this, Vonkar would like to take out a shovel that he
Okay.
has, and start digging a hole
Okay.
in the dirt to see if there's a point, like relatively close to the surface, where there's a significant difference in like the ground
Terrain. Okay.
Yeah.
You get like 2 feet down, and it goes from weird mushroomy jungle terrain that you've been seeing to water.
Like just water.
Water.
Like we're floating.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a sheer drop. It's not like when you okay. Is
It's
it
like ice fishing, and you've got an auger.
It's like ice fishing. You dig 2 feet down, and it's just water.
And so then I can just stick the shovel. All of a sudden, the shovel can just go kaplunk, and I can drop it down if I wanted to.
Yeah. And you look
Wow.
down and you
Okay.
see deep, deep water. Dark, deep water.
Huh. I don't see that every day.
And judging on the map that you were given where this jungle is, you're most likely looking into Lake Shadowmere.
Oh. That's fun.
So yeah, you're floating on a lake.
Like a floating island with no bottom pieces. Maybe.
It's weird.
a peninsula.
Right.
This
Well,
is almost essentially exactly like my home, but you just can't see through it.
what are the
What?
the jungle?
Wait, how's?
What's
What do you mean? It's like your home, but you can't see through it?
lives on tops of ice. Like, there's an ice lakes that you sees all the things they've frozen. But yeah, just a bunch of ice. But like, you can't see through. So you can walk on that water too. Like this water. See?
Oh, I get what you're saying now. Okay, so you lived on a frozen lake?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is it?
I mean, I've never, heck, I've never seen any like a frozen body of water ever.
What?
Lived in Feywild.
Yeah.
It was pretty temperate.
That hard for you to imagine someone not seeing a place at your.
I mean, I can imagine it.
No,
Things
not
frozen
you.
water.
Torger, is that hard to imagine for someone to not experience a place that you're so used to?
Yeah, it's like most everyone's they've seen more things than I have, so
Well,
What?
maybe you've seen more things than Grin has. Grin looks relatively young. No.
oh that's oh
Based on the material plane's record keeping, I'm like 30 years old or something like that.
Oh, a lot
Yeah.
older than I thought.
I don't know.
Very young.
It feels a lot younger than that, but I think I've only experienced like 2 seasons.
oh oh boy.
8-year-old, someone who's experienced 2 seasons, and someone who only has 6 years of memory.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, I don't like it. It makes my brain hurt.
Let's not think too much more on it.
Yeah, what do you call a headaches with pictures?
A
Yeah.
prophecy?
Vision?
A vision?
Soothsay?
Oh,
Oracle?
yeah. Yeah, it hurts a lot. I hate it.
Alright, while you do that, are we all in favor of investigating this tower, at least?
Sure.
Or-
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's nothing too shady about it yet. Maybe it's just, it's just some person. We just have a chat. Be like, hey, what happened?
I love the potential enthusiasm of that potential outcome, but with what we've seen so far, maybe we should have a more defensive outlook on potentially what could be happening in this tower.
Oh, yeah, you know me.
And he just goes invisible.
Oh, someone roll me a D100. As Grin goes invisible. Right? Yep.
Yeah, you can just do it at will. So
D100.
D100. It's like... Oh, God. 99.
ooh, spicy. A spicy 99.
Okay. How many of you have spell slots that have been spent? Like spell slots. So like casters that have spent spell slots.
Oh.
I mean, like, I got them all refreshed with the short rest, but
Yeah,
Okay,
must
cool.
be nice.
My Duergar magic has been used.
That doesn't count.
I have a second
Okay.
level spell slot that's been used.
So
I think Doe has spell slot. that
yeah,
we
Doe's
used. No.
possibly
Or
used
no,
one.
maybe you
I
didn't.
don't think we ever used those.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened last session, so.
You didn't
Yeah.
use any spell slots. You were just vicious mockery.
Oh right, yeah.
Alrighty, so it's going to be between Leek or Antyr or
Oh, that's right.
Hopper
Leek-
or Hopper.
Leek threw down last session with the
Scorching
fire.
ray?
Yeah, the scorching ray.
All right.
God damn.
All right. Let's just. Oh, look at that! The dice want to be nice to Antyr today. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Or not.
Anybody with spell slots, so it's not just ones that have been spent. So it's going to be between the Warlock, the Artificer, the Wizard, the Bard, or the Druid. How many people is that?
Alright.
That's 4 people, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Antyr, you're 1. The Creep is 2. Hopper's 3. Doe's 4.
Okay.
Who's 2? I already forgot. The Creep.
Creep.
Excellent. You all watch as harmless sparks just kind of explode out of the Creep harmlessly, just and then just weird sounds, and you lose a spell slot. A spell slot gets expended.
From Creep?
Yep.
Ooh, no. That's not good.
And yeah, so you got the tower, and there's a dock with a boat, like a little rowboat that leads to the tower. The tower sits on an island of mud in the middle of the bog.
Grin, something just happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been so similar to what happened when Doe and Leek switched spaces. There seems to be some type of wild magic going on or something. Just some random stuff happening.
It is weird.
So we'll be cautious about our. Great. Alright. Is this boat big enough to fit us all?
Oh yeah, you got a lot of small ones in here.
Yeah, Grin's just staying invisible and flying.
Yeah, the boat
How
is
does the
big enough for everybody.
does the boat look dingy?
It's covered in moss.
Okay. Antyr's gonna let everybody get in, and then Antyr's gonna be like George Washington sailing to Delaware, gonna be standing up, foot in between 2 of them,
Okay,
and is not gonna sit down
sure.
in the boat.
There are
This is
no
gross.
there are no oars. And as soon
Oh.
as you all get into the boat, the lantern flares with more light, and the boat just slowly begins to drift its own way towards the tower.
Hmm.
You all feel like you're being watched immensely, even stronger now, and the feeling of being watched, you know how sometimes you can tell, you get that feeling of like you can tell that someone's looking at you from a direction? This direction is directly down in the water.
Yuck. Ooh. I get that feeling all the time.
Is this water more than 2 feet deep?
Oh, it's deep.
So this is just the open lake then?
No, this is a bog. It's a different type of water.
So it's the
So the-
I've
Yeah, I know. You just feel like you're being watched directly below the boat, like in the water.
So yeah, so Torger's also pulling out a notebook and writing things like saying it out loud. Boats sometimes moves themselves.
Okay.
the mage hand, almost like a glove, kind of pulls away from Antyr's other hand, and Antyr doesn't even do anything. The bag opens, a small vial is pulled out, and then it's dragged along the surface of
Okay.
the bog.
As the vial comes up out of the bog, there's nothing in it.
A little deeper. It goes a little deeper. It like dips up.
Nothing in it.
Vonkar's gonna stick his hand in the water.
It is icy cold,
Oh,
and
that's cold.
you feel it's just really cold.
You feel just really cold.
Cold water.
Does anybody look into the water?
I
I
mean,
assume I look when I
Grin
stick my
is
hand in.
Grin is above. I mean,
Okay, so
I also.
okay, so with that feeling of being watched, as Vonkar's like dipping an arm in the water, Grin just can see it from the vantage point. Towards you see it as well. Then hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies, very similar to the dead marshes in Return of the King, just floating beneath the surface of the water, just staring up, eyes wide open. the source of why you feel like you're being watched is just tons of bodies. They all look elvish, fey-like, wearing colorful plate armor of various colors, like oranges and reds and yellows and greens, and just
Grid just flies down and like slaps Vonkar's head. Get out of there!
It is out of the water.
Ah, there's a lot of dead people in the water.
Yeah, this is more like home than you'd think.
And upon close inspection, the ones that are directly below the boat are the ones propelling it forward with their hands just going.
Oh, we're getting crowd surfed.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And then
Friendly.
Vonkar, you look
Does
at
any of the armor?
Well, what's
Go
up?
ahead. I was gonna say, does any of the armor look like? Because I feel like Hopper would look at this. So Antyr's gonna play on that.
Oh,
Is
okay,
there? Does any of the armor appear same colorations and same design style?
There's
as
like
Hopper's?
there's green armor that matches the color of Hopper's, but not the same style.
Not the same style. Okay.
No. And Vonkar, you look at your hand where you put it in the water, and you can see there's like the faintest, like trace of like where a wet hand touched you, and that's why it was so cold. And I couldn't hear you
Oh,
again.
that's-
Oh, there we go. Never mind. There we go. Heard you that time. The rowboat doesn't take long to get to the other side. There is no dock on the other side. It is just an island of mud. Built upon is all mud. The front door of the tower is a mossy wooden door with the symbol of a dead, gnarled willow tree carved into it. Flanking the door are two mud-encrusted pillars set with black crystal balls, and the tower is completely devoid of windows.
I like willow trees.
And
The balls are interesting as well.
you can see that the bodies in the bog, where the boat still touches the water, they're anchoring it in place by just holding on the bottom of it.
Alright, so I think we might need to have a conversation. Is everybody out of the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopper and Leek are out of the boat.
We should probably have a conversation about this and what it means. Like when Vonkar, when you dug a hole in the ground, you didn't see any of these these ghastly visages, right? In the water?
Nope.
It's just around this tower.
Regular lake water.
Hmm.
Well, if there's any indication of what we know so far, I imagine those bodies are those potentially people who belong to the Sealy Court.
They did look fey.
Yeah.
Like elf fey, not like grin fey. And they all look like soldiers.
So, if this is a place that is maybe this place belonged to the other side. What is the name of the other? The
Well,
Unsealy?
Yeah, unsealy.
Maybe this was a domain for them.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of keep out of politics, but let me think.
Does Grin know anything
About what?
regarding Unsealy, Sealy?
Well, this would
Like,
this
and
would
how this
would
might-
depend if Papa knows stuff about how much Papa knows or cares.
I mean, he'd probably keep to himself, but I mean, there's only so long that you can live on
True.
essentially someone else's property before someone else comes knocking looking for the
True.
previous owner.
The Unsealy Court is also called the Gloaming Court, or at least, like the Sealy Court, made up of numerous courts, and the court that holds power within the Unsealy Court is the Gloaming Court, whereas the Sealy Court, the one that holds power, is the Summer Court. The Unsealy Court is an organization of evil fae. Fae are tricky. It's hard to pinpoint alignments with fae creatures because they're kind of
Yeah.
weird.
The good ones will kill
Yeah.
you just as
Yep.
easy.
As you all learned with history checks, the fake characters learned last session, or the characters tied to the Feywild last session, learned that the Unseelie Court is ruled by the Queen of Air and Darkness, and the Unseelie Court's influence is felt far and wide across the Feywild. They engage in esoteric magic and rituals, corruptive in nature. They tend to dine on creatures from the prime material plane. The Seelie Court tend not to, but the Unseelie Court love eating and cutting up and fucking with creatures from the prime material plane. More so than the Seelie Court. Both courts like to fuck with people in the material plane and play pranks on them and just mess with them. Just the dark side of the Seelie Court, essentially. Dark, tricky, Fey. Engaged, like I said, dark, esoteric magic and rituals. And you've seen some signs of rituals, and then there's the dead bodies in the water that all look like they're Fey, in colorful armor. So you can do with that as you will. As for what you'd know, yeah, evil Fey, ruled by the Queen of Air and Darkness. Stay away if you come across them, because the Unseelie Court will kill Seelie Fey on sight, and the Seelie Fey will kill Unseelie Fey on sight. No talking, no.
Alright. So Grin's just gonna be like,
on sight.
yeah, Grin's just gonna be like, so guys, so if we come across any resistance, like if they're not really hospitable in this tower, we can always just run too. So just keep that in the back burner. If anybody runs, we all run, okay?
I can't do a French accent, so Hopper is just gonna say, it's gonna come in German. That's fine. When Hopper's angry, they come out German. If we find who is responsible for who killed Oberon in this tower, I am not running. Unless,
we have a group of which we
unless,
we have a group.
You'd be the first to strike, then. If you strike well enough, then I guess we can make decisions after that.
But if things go sideways, I can't get revenge if I'm dead.
That's true.
Wisdom in that.
I'm gonna look at the crystal balls.
Okay, they're jet black.
The pearl is pulled from it. We're gonna attempt to. I need some minutes to attempt to cast Identify
On the
crystal balls.
on the crystal balls? Okay.
Mhm.
That takes a minute. What's everybody doing for that minute? Just waiting and watching?
Digging another hole.
Digging another hole? You're just digging straight down into the bog at this point.
What's the lighting situation right now?
Dim.
Grin
Dim because of
is-
the moss that's everywhere. That's kind of illuminating it. So it's dim dim black and purple light.
Alright, Grin is just gonna cast light on the creep.
Perfect. What color light?
Like just white. Bright
Okay,
white.
cool.
Just a standout. A
Perfect.
beacon.
Take all the attention. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Vonkar, yeah, you dig a hole and you get like a foot down through the mud and you're just in the bog. And you hit one of the bodies that's like floating with the shovel as you dig under. It kind of gets like stuck in the chest.
Sorry about that. Yep. Okay, so now it's bog. It's not lake anymore beneath us. It is just bog again.
Yeah, because the bog is deep, so it's weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have liked to go back on the other side where it's lake. Where it's lake and like dig down to see if I look over what I see. Like if I see like a border or something.
All right, Antyr, you're doing Identify.
Alright.
They're just crystal balls, but they are affected by a spell. And that spell is Agonazar's Scorcher.
Hey, Joe. Do you got any recipes in your book?
I should have asked him for that cheesecake recipe.
Oh, dang. Oh, wow. I was gonna trade you all kinds of recipes, like mushroom recipes. All these mushrooms around, they made me think of home.
I'll take the recipes because I can cook. And then enter. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That would be more. Yeah, that would have worked because Antyr probably would have been like looking, and the crystal balls are affected by some magic, obviously. I don't know exactly what they're linked to. They feel like they might be there for protection.
Is there any way to neutralize it and then just open the door?
That I would know.
You'd know Dispel Magic would do it.
Yes, but not that I have capabilities of doing. Magic for that is a little higher up.
Alright, well, everybody back up. You know, maybe get on the other side of this tower and I'll just have Creep fucking open the door.
We'd be alright. What if they die?
Yeah, you won't die.
The gods.
Yeah, they're cursed by the gods. Yeah,
Cursed by the gods.
and they're the worst. So
Yeah.
Little man learns fast.
you can see
Hey,
he's like
Grins,
he's picking stuff
can
up
I
out of the
talk
mud.
to you? Grins, can I talk to you?
Yeah. Here, let's go around the side of the tower. What's up?
Okay,
guys are, like, going to
so... Okay, so you's like always is hanging with the creep that you calls him, yeah?
Yeah, we're connected by this chain here.
Yeah, and yous don't like this guy very much, yeah?
I mean, it's not about a matter of not liking him, it's just knowing that he's bad.
But like, yous could why don't yous get rid of him?
Well, it's my charge to make sure that he gets his due punishment. Or, you know, preferably, he has a change of heart somewhere along the lines.
Oh, just weird.
What? So it's like if he's like becomes the best, then you's not going to have to hang out with him anymore.
Well, but if I can tell if he's a good person, then I will have achieved my duty. And I will be released, and he will be released, and it will be a good time for everyone.
Okay, I think I gets it. Just walks off.
Leek is just-
Vonkar, can I stand behind you? And Antyr's just gonna shift.
So you're
behind
all
Odd,
you're all
putting-
going to the side of the tower while the creep just tries to open the front door.
Yeah, sure. Stand behind me. I mean, you might have ducked down a little bit. You're pretty tall, but yeah, go ahead.
Leek is just picking bugs out of the dirt mud like worms.
Nice.
All right, creep, you're all alone near the front door.
Yo, I just wants to ask you real quick. A tea cozy?
Nope.
Okay, thanks you.
Grin's doing a silent countdown.
Okay.
Antyr's gonna send Endless up, but gonna be flying almost like well off, like 60 or so feet.
Okay, cool.
And
Watching.
the door has like, does it have a knob or a handle or something?
It just looks like it's a push door.
Okay, yeah. He's just gonna like,
Okay. It's locked. There's like keyholes, but it's a push door.
do we hear that he?
Yeah, you just hear a poof.
Come on, Creep. Harder.
Time trying to break it down.
Yeah.
Athletics check.
Okay.
DC 24
No way.
for reasons.
Yeah. 8.
8. You hear a thud, and then you guys hear a as Agonizer's Scorcher goes off from the 2 crystal balls, and the creep just sees both balls light up with fire, and then I need the creep to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. Do 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 do. Natural 1.
Oh no!
Boy.
I rolled so good. And it's cast at. I gotta pull up that spell so I can remember how much dice I'm rolling here. Okay, cool. Okay, I got the right number. 24 fire damage. Just
Damn.
Nice.
Damn.
and then the creep would hear the door unlock.
Alright, I think it's good.
And as you guys come around the corner, you see the creep just kind of like a crispy mess.
Oh, does it stink?
Oh, yeah.
Skin
Cooked.
bandages.
Kind of mostly smells like charcoal though. Like or like a sauna, right?
Oh, perfect.
Because it's just like I mean Earth Genasi.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Antyr's gonna cast Magus Reach and gonna gently pat the creep's shoulder. Thank you.
As you do that, you see his wounds start stitching together, and he heals 21 hit points, I believe. 16 plus 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
The hand drifts from creep to the door to push it the rest of the way.
Okay. As the door opens, you immediately see a space that doesn't make sense in a physical and a spatial way. The room beyond is far too large to match the dimensions of the tower. You're looking into a grand entry hall that appears as if it was built into the interior of a mossy dead tree. The floor is elegant, smooth stone, and the walls resemble the twisted, gnarled roots of a massive dead tree. Ensnared within the roots are numerous gloomy landscape portraits that seem oddly vacant, like there used to be someone in the paintings, but now there isn't. Each painting is set with a plaque. In the center of the chamber is a staircase that rises upwards to a second floor, and on both the western and eastern walls are single doors, wooden doors, marked with the same symbol as the tower's front door, the dead willow tree. The ceiling is adorned in an intricate twisting pattern of gnarled tree roots, from which large glowing orbs of dull green light hang down, also ensnared in roots, giving this area a dim light. They bathe the chamber in a dim green light, casting eerie shadows on the walls. So you got a large entry chamber, weird vacant landscape paintings that are hanging off, like ensnared within the roots to keep them attached to the walls. You got a staircase going to the second floor, and you have
2 doors.
doors on,
Right.
yeah. One door on the left wall, one door on the right wall.
Right, Grin can creep go to the left door. Let's stay as a group, maybe?
Just use
Or
the
do we
creep
want
as
to-
like a fucking meat shield as you go through
Yeah,
dungeons.
I'm sending the creep ahead. I'm staying invisible. If I know what I know
Right,
about
yes.
all this. Go, keep moving. You
Okay.
got this.
So as you guys pass through the entry hall, following the creep, I assume, from a little bit back, as you pass through the entry hall, you can see the landscape portraits because they're in this entry hall. The first portrait depicts a mountain that comes to a hook-shaped peak, with a raging thunderstorm all around. Surrounding the base of the mountain is an impossibly large labyrinth of twisting brambles and vines. Antyr, you recognize the labyrinth? And on the plaque it says Thorn Peak. Ruler Lord Bramblethorn. And you pass
And the labyrinth is.
made of twisting brambles and vines.
Is there any? You said that Antyr recognizes. Is this
Yeah.
just something from their past that they would?
You recognize the labyrinth, and then Hopper will say, I recognize that labyrinth.
I don't. I assume the labyrinth belongs to the Lord? Brambledorn?
Well, we was there to find Rattle. It looks like it's that labyrinth.
Oh, it is. Oh, we were there. Is that a Grundle?
Yes, the Sato is called
Consorting?
Grundle. Is they
Is
kidnapped?
Grundle consorting with Lord Brambledorn?
Could you guys update us? It seems like you're.
Oh, you go ahead, Antia.
Yes. So whenever we met Leek's mother, she sent us on a mission to save her husband, and
One of her
we went.
husbands.
One of her husbands, correct. And we ended up getting
Get a girl.
pursuing. What?
Nothing.
We ended up pursuing Grundle, who had stolen away the husband in this sack and lifts it up and gives it a little gentle shake. And that labyrinth there is. It's the same labyrinth that we went to. I
So
don't
you-
remember seeing this mountain though.
Yeah, so you guys, you had hang out with Grundle?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
me
think
and
we ended up meeting Grundle both. I don't know how the timelines would link up. Grundle's. It was a brief exchange, not terribly long, before he was sent off.
yeah, Doe wasn't Grundle, that was the candy kid, right?
You see Doe's just tongue kind of like comes up, and they're just remembering, just like holding onto the lollipop, and just.
I think so.
Oh god, that lollipop would look gross by now.
That was a good lollipop.
Covered in like hair.
Delicious.
Spores.
And yeah, it would be kind of have like some
Oof.
spores stuck to it and some hair.
Love it. There's just. It's that mushroom funk. Delicious.
Yeah, Grundle was the guy who we got the egg with, like I told you.
Yeah, I know Grundle too. Used to serve my mom as like a jester of sorts. But now,
Something.
but yeah. And then Hopper will say, yes, and then Antigothel forgave Grundle for kidnapping the husband, and Grundle apologized, and they made up, and she sent him out on an errand, which is probably the errand you're talking about, getting that egg.
Right. So, linking together. Grundle took the egg and left. Or do y'all have the egg? Wait, do you have a Jabberwock egg?
No, we don't scots an egg. We was just supposed to. If you, Doe and I, we were the muscle.
Ah, nice.
See that?
As you, there are other.
I'm just imagining Torger like going into the pose of his portrait. It's like
eyes wide.
squeeze the muscle.
The second portrait depicts a vast network of fetid swamps and bogs as far as the eye can see, and that one's titled Mistfen and ruled by Marrow Gut. None of you recognize that one. It doesn't even match where you are. The third portrait depicts a series of rolling hills surrounded by dense forests of dead trees, and a very whimsical fairy tale style castle rests on the horizon, which doesn't fit the landscape. And it's called Wraithwood, ruled by King Shutterspine. The fourth portrait, depicts a vast kaleidoscope of deadly-looking poisonous plants named Venothicket, ruled by Colony of Dread and Sorrow. The next one depicts an entire city of mushroom buildings that have become overgrown with large webs. Mushrooms are familiar, but they don't match the color and aesthetic of where you are. That one is labeled Spore Haven, and it looks like it's just a city, ruled by something called Fate Weaver. The sixth portrait depicts a jungle of dark, gloomy mushrooms, with colorful ethereal lights floating through the air, which match the fireflies you've been seeing flying around, and the gloomy mushroom jungle. That's where you're in one. And it's called Funglade. 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 Ruled by Evelyn the Molar Witch.
I'm gonna have to write this stuff down once you upload this later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I will, and I'll post a screenshot of what the portraits look like too.
Cool.
I'll have to crop out what the rulers look like though, but because they're missing from the paintings.
Wow.
Evelyn the Molar Witch rules the domain that you pop. The domain you're in matches the one that says Funglade and Evelyn the Molar Witch. The last painting depicts a rough, craggy landscape filled with ravines and sparse clusters of woodland, and in the distance is a mile-high dead willow tree called the Hush Wilds, ruled by Dusk Reaper Aelinor. Those are the paintings. And Creep was headed towards the leftmost door. I'll post all this during the break. And you said Creep's headed towards the left door by himself, everyone else kind of lagging behind.
Yes.
Yeah, he's face checking everything.
Sure. Okay. Alright. The door isn't locked as he hits it, because as he hits it, he hears that there's no, like, mechanisms in the door. Just hits it, but the door's just shut.
Okay. He'll use his action for the moment to cast Mage Hand.
Okay. What does his Mage Hand look like?
Let's see.
For
I need
fun.
to double check to see if it's actually visible.
Oh, right.
Um,
I think it's only Arcane Tricksters that get the invisible one.
Yeah, it's invisible.
Oh, cool. Never mind. So opens the door. Alright. Mounted on the gnarled root walls are the heads of strange, otherworldly animals, including some monsters that are well known in the world. You recognize the heads of owlbears, onkegs, dragons, and other common monsters, like whatever common monster you can think of, it's up there. There is also a plethora of heads you don't recognize, like weird animals that just are unknown, and the odd humanoid head from humans, gnomes, elves, etc. Mounted and taxidermied on the wall. You see elves, gnomes, dwarves, humans of various ages. Scattered about the room are also glass cases where larger taxidermy specimens reside, consisting of another collection of recognizable creatures and more humanoids stuffed and put into glass cases, entire bodies in weird poses. Each specimen, including the wall-mounted heads, include dates of when they were taken down, and the dates go back 800 years or so.
Well, I mean, no offense, but it seems like with evidence of Oberon and what they got going on here, seems like they're kind of a headhunter. So, cover your necks.
For some levity, one of the glass cases looks like it's a man and his son playing baseball, playing catch. Some dark levity. Just...
Is the ball they're throwing a head?
Yeah, of course. The head of like a head of a gnome, just... Its face, so it's weird.
Come on, son! I'm throwing a heater this time!
It's... it looks like this is just a trophy room.
Gotta get your head in the game, son. Come on.
There's nothing else in here aside from just these trophies in glass cases with specimens in them.
Alright, yep, it definitely seems like this person has a vibe. Yeah, like I said, cover your necks. Whenever we encounter them, they'll probably be going right for it.
Close that door.
Oh, was there no other door?
No, nothing else
in there.
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just a weird game of catch going on in there in one of the glass cases.
Oh boy.
And then you got the other door on the opposite wall, and then the staircases that goes up. The staircase that goes up to the second floor.
Does
Yeah,
it seem okay? So sorry for reference. The staircase goes up like a grand staircase, and
Just
then
a straight,
opens
just a
around.
straight staircase, going straight up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if no one else is on it, creep is just gonna keep moving.
So the other door or second floor?
Oh, I mean the other door. Might as well
Okay. Same thing.
explore.
Just bonk.
Yeah.
Same
I
as-
mean with the
yeah,
invisible
made
hand.
hand. Just open it from a distance, kind of thing. Okay.
Well, not too much of a distance.
Of course.
He's there to take the hits.
That's right.
He takes the licks.
Okay.
Shield.
The room is covered. So the door opens, and the room is covered in a large rug, made from the skin of stitched together people. So try picturing that. And at the end, instead of like a bear head, it's just a guy's head that's going like this. So whoever did this had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's like it's a different vibe than news, right? Like it's
this
like
is
yeah, it's a bit because like news is just like it's suiting a purpose, so he doesn't bother like presenting it.
and it's also it's
in like
animals. News kind of
Yeah.
mainly did it with animals. These are just people that he's like, whatever. A large gnarled stone fireplace rests on one wall and is covered in empty, dusty decanters. The root walls are set with bookcases made from gnarled, desiccated roots that are filled with a variety of dusty books. On one wall is a framed ancient piece of parchment that depicts a map of the whole world, including this continent, including the lost continents that just returned 6 years ago. So in total, there's like 14 continents. There's a fuck ton, and it's made with like faded dark red ink.
Oh, cool. Get us that map.
The guy that can easily get it off the wall.
Uses his mage hand or whatever. Rests the map on his head.
And then shows it, brings it back to everybody so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone that's so you're all looking at the map. It's the entire world, like 14, and then like a bunch of continents that nobody recognizes. Like some of you know, like two of the continents that returned 6 years ago or 5 years ago. There was Cathatooine, and then there was Bossgrave. Those are the prominent ones that returned. But there's others that aren't on any other map that have returned. And then there's Dragon's Beard, which Torger and I think Vonkar will recognize. I'm not really sure if you two are like whatever, but the continent Dragon's Beard is recognizable to at least Torger because that's where Duergar is. There's Silger, all the other.
Wait,
continents.
Dragon's Beard is the cold place.
Yeah. However, people proficient with Arcana, you can make an Arcana check while looking at the map if you'd like, because it's there's also like sketch lines all over the map too, like someone was like drawing lines on the map. So anyone proficient in Arcana.
Natural 1. Ooh.
Wow, what does that give you though total?
A 7.
A 7. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Proficient in Arcana. Who else is proficient in Arcana? Hopper's
I don't
proficient
think
in Arcana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Hopper
don't think
got-
anybody else is.
Hopper got an 8. Doe's
I'm not
Doe's
profici-
proficient in Arcana, or has expertise in Arcana. So Doe can roll.
I have a +6.
And what's
but, like,
what's up?
That's real good.
What's up, Vonkar?
Jesus.
I would say Vonkar's not proficient in Arcana, but he is proficient with cartographer's tools. Does
Yeah,
he get anything?
Go for it. You can make a.
Okay.
The DC will be higher for you because it's a
Right.
different check that you're looking for on this map.
What ability score would you like me to roll?
Intelligence probably.
Intelligence? Okay.
Intelligence or wisdom, your choice.
So, plus proficiency. There's no good way to do that.
So what'd you get?
10.
Oh, that sucks. And Vonkar.
Dirty 20 with the cartographer's tools proficiency.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
nice.
You've been hearing about these things from adventurers. It kind of matches up some stories you've heard. The red lines that go, the entire map is written in red faded ink, but there's red lines that kind of go across the map in weird directions. These are the ley lines. Someone has mapped out every single ley line on the world map, and there are hundreds, if not tens of there's like thousands upon thousands of ley lines that someone has meticulously hand drawn these. And at some of the intersections of these ley lines are red dots.
As I imagine we have this like laid out on the floor, and we're all just kind of like looking over it.
There's a table.
Okay, so we have it on the table, and it's like the Arcana people are looking over it, and then
Yeah.
Vonkar just like comes up between the two of them, stands up a little taller so we can see over the table, and just goes, "Oh, so why has this place got a map of ley lines?"
As you all start like following the ley lines, you can see they branch all over the world to like these red dots that are like intersections, and
Oh, that's what they are?
one of
That's just spaghetti.
and where you're standing on the map is it just shows a lake. You see on this world map, you see the lake roughly where you are. It's not a detailed world map, but you can see kind of roughly where you'd be on the world map. And there's one of those red dots right where you're standing, signifying that this is most likely a convergence point of ley lines.
Antyr's finger is gonna. They're gonna follow the lines to Dragon's Beard.
Yeah, there's tons that go to Dragon's Beard. Are you following any specific ones?
Mm-hmm.
If we're on the same page,
Yeah, probably.
there is one directly where we're probably both thinking the exact spot. None of you recognize any other points. Actually, the City of Embers would be a point. But
Alright.
you're currently standing in one. So you have a world map with every single ley line drawn out on it, and hundreds of thousands of points of convergence around the entirety of the world just labeled on this map.
Are there so?
And it's a really
convergences-
ancient map, like it's like delicate.
Convergence would be two lines crossing. Are there any places where more than two lines cross?
Oh,
at the same
tons.
point?
Like
Okay.
so you have like hundreds of thousands that have like 2 points hitting. Maybe tens of thousands that have more than 2 points connected.
Okay.
Like it's a fuck ton. Like, and someone painstakingly labeled it and drew this out.
Vonkar,
That was a
you,
theory.
you, you can hold the map. You could be the map holder. You've noticed
Oh, I don't know
these.
if I have a safe place to put it. If any of you have a tube or something to put it in, that would
Pour
be,
it
that'd
out.
be nice.
Maybe,
But
maybe
first
if we like right.
Hopper is gonna run their hand across it and start casting mending on it to make it not so like decrepit and falling apart and restore it in a way. Can't fully restore it because there are pieces of it that are like frayed around the edges, but like prevents it from like falling apart in your hands.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a duplicate. Maybe we can make a copy of this with sterner stuff.
I feel like it would take you weeks.
Yeah, it
to
looks like it would
copy.
take weeks to copy it out. To, like,
Well, I
late-
just take this little spaghetti thing and loop it around to this little spaghetti thing and just make sure that all the other like you know, green spaghetti things are on top, and
You keep saying spaghetti. What is the lines or the ley lines? Is that what you think spaghetti is?
I mean, you see it. Those just have you listen. That was one of the first things I ate on the material plane was a bowl of spaghetti, and it was delicious. But it made a mess of red lines everywhere, and then there were sprays everywhere. And that's
We'll
what
have
this
to
kind of looks like. It's just like someone ate spaghetti next to this map.
we'll have to explain what ley lines means.
I don't entirely know. So,
Yeah, a lot of you wouldn't know what the ley lines are because that's still a relatively new thing that got uncovered, but it's where
Shit went down apparently.
magic, it's like the lifeblood of the planet.
I mean,
Where for everyone who uses magic harnesses it from the ley lines.
honestly, I think it's some new religion. I've never seen a ley line, so it's like invisible stuff.
You know, all of these lines remind me of the roots of the great tree that hugs the whole world and keeps it together so it doesn't fly out into space.
Vonkar has a theory that he'd like to test. I don't know if anything will come of it. Flip the map upside down. Like, flip it over. Look at the backside.
It's blank.
Okay.
Oh, good. Use tries to find the branches of the tree. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a thought. Guess no.
Broke me. Oh man.
Put right backside up. Right
Okay.
backside.
What, Antyr? You've never heard about the roots that holds the whole world together so it does not fall into pieces and out into space? So we're all millions of little pieces that flies out into the sky? Like that's what happens to all the other places and that's why you've got all those lights in the sky?
No,
Okay.
that's new. Brand new to me. It's interesting that you don't see these branches of that tree when you're standing outside in bright daylight.
Yes, but you sees all the roots of the trees when you's in the ground.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never been in the ground.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, you've
Never been in the-
Wait. You've never What? What? You've never been in the ground?
Yeah, no, I haven't been underground. I mean, I've been in a cellar or in a basement, but not like underground.
Oh yeah. So it's like the whole thing. It's like you live like everything's like a basement.
Just one big basement?
Yeah.
So we're in a basement right now.
No.
No. It's
I'm
wow,
confused.
boy.
It's talking about where it came from, how there were roots
Got
that came
it.
in.
Oh, you're talking about below the earth.
Yeah, but so one time I heard I was at this inn where a guy was saying that there's like all these people who they like lives in the sky and they's like have fights over who's going to control things, but then like we live below them, so we's kind of like in their basement.
Squatters. I think the word is you're looking for is you technically are like squatting in their basement. Do they know that you live there?
Wait, how many squats did you do today?
More than you, because I won the arm wrestle.
Wow. I feel like you were really coming from my leg regiment, and like I did like 200 squats today, so I guess
201, it looks like.
I mean, who knows what we're going to come in contact with? I mean, what better time for you guys to do a leg wrestle?
all right. So you want to leg wrestle me? I'll leg wrestle you. Let's go.
I'm not getting on the ground. We'll do it later.
Huh?
And I owe you.
Oh yes, you do owes me.
I do.
Somebody roll me
He
a
takes
D.
it.
Somebody roll me a D100 while this conversation is going, and feel free to continue your conversation.
I'll do it.
99.
Another 99. Wow.
Big goof.
You see sparks explode around Antyr,
Whoa!
but these are different colored sparks than the ones that explode around the creep. And then you hear a bump ba ba, and Antyr, you regain a one expended spell slot of a random level of your choosing.
Ah, damn it.
I only had one expended.
Okay,
from
you
second level,
get it
so-
back.
Whew. Well, maybe we should leg wrestle. I'm feeling a little on the up and up now.
Oh shit! Yeah, let's go.
Okay, it has to be quick though.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go quicks. All right, who's gonna give us the count off?
I do it.
How do
Yeah,
we do
like-
this?
Fully flat on his back, waiting for like motioning to his side.
Okay, Antyr is going to gonna remove the shoulder cape and Doe, can you hold this please?
Doe just puts out their tongue and just
Oh. Okay.
Wait.
holding it.
Hopper, maybe you and hands it to
Hopper is not in this room.
Shit. Okay, so here, you take it. Okay, lay on the
So-
ground.
So, a coat rack?
Nope.
Okay, thanks you.
Wait, could you
Doe's
be a
making
color?
sure not to drop it while she's saying that and slurping her tongue around.
Right.
All right,
I lay here.
let's dance.
All right,
I
contested
thought we were leg wrestling.
athletics checks as you lay on the ground and leg wrestle.
Alright, 5, 3, 2, 1, 5.
Yeah, athletics checks for both of you.
15.
6.
The
Absolutely.
Antyr's leg just puts and
gets thumped because I believe Antyr is what, at least 5'10".
No, Antyr's. Oh yeah, just under 5'9".
So 5'9".
Yeah.
So yeah, so
That
you
leverage.
you get
from
the leverage and the
leg.
weight, and it bends him back. Or he gets kneed in the face, and like unfurls.
So
Yeah, it's
flexible.
and then just jumps up and is like, yeah, it's like super easy to win when you're like a whole foot taller than. Fuck you, and then like goes starts just doing squats and just like takes the fat of his left hand
Mm-hmm.
and just makes 2 check marks. With
Do
the
I get to pick another animal?
tattooing. You can pick a warm glass of shut the hell up. Just
I'll
makes-
think on your next tattoo that I wish for you to have.
No, you just got other things to do, and then put the initials AX on my thumb, and then make 2 tick marks on the fat of his left hand, right there under that thumb.
Kate's in
Nice.
chat and says, "Ha ha ha ha! Antyr 2, Torger 0."
Antyr's gonna take the shoulder cape and put it back on and readjust it.
All right, what's animal were you thinking of?
You know what? We'll honor an Indolus and we'll do a Patu bird.
I'm sorry, a what's a
A
patu bird?
Patu bird, and we'll summon Indolus like this.
All right. Lifts up his left pant leg, finds a spot on the right inside of the left calf, about 3/4 of the way up. So yeah, there's just right on that calf muscle that starts to protrude inward.
Okay.
There's a little patu bird now. He's
All
gonna
right.
start working. He'll start working. He's laying out. He sketched it out. and
Okay.
he'll fill it in later.
Alright, Papa said that party doesn't operate too well when there's animosity, so I hope you guys got your stuff squashed. Because we might have a
Wait, what's things? What's squashed?
beef. Like, that's how Papa mentioned it. Like, settle scores, you know?
You can hear somebody walking up the stairs in the
Oh,
main
well,
hall.
oh, okay. We's got to go upstairs.
Right.
And you can just see Hopper walking up the stairs.
Hop, try to catch up.
Catch up to God.
Him.
Huh?
Hopper's him.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, they
Catch
said
up
her.
to him.
Sorry. Never mind. They said her. The creep up the stairs. I'm curious how that looks. Creep going upstairs.
Flying sideways upwards.
Just like rolling up the stairs. The stairs climb 30 feet to the second floor to a landing covered in a lush lavender-colored carpet. A corridor stretches ahead 30 feet towards a mossy wooden archway in the wall, behind which sits a round stone dais covered in faintly glowing green runes, and a single door resides on both the eastern and western walls. So 2 more doors, and then the archway with a glowing green dais behind it. Hopper should we check the doors too? Just to fully investigate this place to make sure we get paid when we go back? Or continue forward?
Well, yeah, we got a job to do. Creep. Check it.
Which door is Creep bumping into next? Left or right?
The right.
Okay. The door opens to reveal he just bonks it and it just opens. The door opens to reveal a bedchamber. The cracked stone floor is covered in intricate purple carpeting, and the gnarled root walls are desiccated and bare. Painted on the ceiling is a mural of a variety of sprites, so grins, pinning a human man down with roots and giggling as they pull out his teeth one by one, while a really fat sprite eats the teeth. In the center of the chamber is a large, ornate 4-poster bed surrounded by purple lace curtains with dragonfly motifs on them. On the northernmost wall of this chamber is a large wooden desk made from twisting mossy roots, where a book sits propped open, with a stick of charcoal resting atop the open book. Sitting behind the desk is a large glass window, which is weird since the tower outside didn't have any windows. And this window is overlooking a gloomy, shadowy landscape of craggy mountains being assailed by a thunderstorm, with a mile-high dead willow tree on the horizon. Matching the landscape you see out the window matches one of the paintings from the first floor.
Antyr's gonna go to the book.
Okay.
Or to the desk. It's on the desk, right?
It's on top of the desk, and you can see the desk has like a single drawer, but the book and the charcoal are on top of the desk.
Antyr's gonna go to the desk immediately.
Okay.
Look to the book.
Alright. The book contains numerous charcoal drawings / blueprints of these tall, spire-like machines made from gnarled roots and iron. At the top of the machine is a large floating glass ball filled with liquid, with small labels and names written in Sylvan. The machines are called Orbis and Cora, or ORBIS space ANCORA. The large floating glass ball at the top of the machine has been labeled as a crimson well, with a note mentioning fueled by blood, as well as other notes. The back of the book contains a single note also written in Sylvan about a little over a month ago, or the same date as when the jungle appeared, which I will post for the group chat, the drawings, if I have them. I might have lost them. Oh no. Well, hey, we're all just here having a good time.
Right.
Well, I lost the drawings, I think. If I find them, I'll
That's
just post
okay.
them later. And I
Andrew's
will.
gonna take the book anyway, so
Yeah, okay. And I'll post the note and I'll give it to you, Lex, since you're the one reading it.
I'll read aloud for the class. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. 25th of Realmfest, 75 AT. It's been eons, but I believe I have finished the task set before me. It has been a long, arduous process, but the machine is finished. I've come to call it the Oberus Ancora. It serves as a sort of anchor between a single plane of existence within the shattering and the material plane.
Scattering.
Scattering, sorry. I'm about to perform a minor test with the device in hopes that will anchor this domain somewhere in the material plane, preferably in one of the major points of convergence within the ley lines. If my calculations have been correct, 6 years ago the test became more productive and more desirable results came with it. Something must have happened, and whatever it was, I'm grateful. If everything goes according to plan, this little chunk of our domain will appear and I can begin to survey these points of ley convergence for the Umbral Court and for all of the courts that fell under the banner of the Unseelie and our Queen. I can only hope the violent tendencies of the protector I built shall be sated if anyone stumbles upon my machine, as they've proven difficult to tame. They become far more sentient than I anticipated, and have become prone to calling themselves Grandmother Stitch. She's a horrendous monstrosity, but will not fail with defending the device. I believe Aelinor will be pleased with my progress, and I look forward to entering the material plane. Castigar, architect of Sorrow Gloom.
When he says Aelinor, do we know who that is?
No, but it matches the name of one of the paintings downstairs who was said to rule one of the domains.
Okay.
There's the note for everybody.
Ooh.
So it seems as though the device worked. What happened 6 years ago, outside from literally everyone dying?
That seems like a big one.
Right.
People would have. I don't know if it would have been. It's pretty common knowledge actually. That an adventuring party known as the Faust and the Furious, restored the ley lines 5 years ago, and roughly around that same time is when weird stuff started to happen with magic. So it's never been confirmed, but it's theorized that the two are connected, that the Faust and the Furious restored the ley lines, and with that made things weird.
Oh, so we can blame those assholes for all this.
Seems as though that's their key component in restoring those ley lines. So yes, it seems as though they are to be held responsible. Yes. All right, I'll take the book and gonna try to open the drawer at the desk.
Okay. Where is it here? No, where is it? Oh no, did I delete it? Nope, no. As you open the desk, there's a bit of resistance, and then the sound of something scraping, like flint, and then the desk explodes. How far was everybody in the room? Not taking into account that the desk just exploded, because nobody would know the desk would just explode.
I mean, I figured we were already on our way to the next place, so we're like next to the door to the next area.
Okay, so
It would
Antyr.
have been reading.
So Antyr's alone, right at the desk. Okay. Antyr, give me a dexterity saving throw. As you all hear the desk just.
Okay, dirty 20.
Cool. You're
Nice.
gonna have this you're gonna have the explosion. As you're opening it, you do see what's in the desk before it explodes.
Oh.
Because you're looking into it. A bundle of dynamite hooked up to a mechanism that's attached to a flint, so when it's opened, it sparks. Alchemist fire. 4 sticks of dynamite, an abacus, and Alchemist fire. So a trap, just in case someone was like, I'm gonna look around on this desk.
Is the
Oh my
abacus part of the trap,
God.
or is it just also stored in there with the dynamite?
It's an abacus made of gnarled wood, just stored in the desk.
So just kept next to the dynamite trap. Just, all right.
8, 9,
I have my abacus and my
13,
dynamite
17.
trap. Only things I need in this world.
Instead of taking,
the Axis
so
shrapnel.
fun fact, dynamite is bludgeoning damage for some reason, so because it's the force of the explosion, and force is magical damage. It's not actual force. Instead of taking 20 damage, you take 10, and everything in the desk is destroyed, and most of the room just.
So, for visual sakes, Antyr was behind the desk, just finished reading as the others were leaving,
Yep.
was doing a last minute in check. It exploded. Antyr is blown backwards
Sure.
a
if you
bit.
want. Yeah.
Um,
And you only take 10 damage.
Do they hit the window?
yeah.
The explosion, the desk was up against the window. Nothing happens to the window. The window is completely intact.
Oh, so the desk was facing out the window.
Yeah, like if you're sitting at the desk, you'd be looking out the window.
They're looking at. Oh, so Antyr blasted back
Towards the bed.
others.
Towards the bed, yeah.
bed. Okay.
So
It hits the edge of the bed.
you all hear the explosion. Just
Oh shit.
Guys, there's no way the person who lives here didn't hear that. Prep for an ambush, okay? Come on.
Wait, I can't breathe.
You'll be a great distraction. You'll be a great distraction. Just, be like a wounded animal caught in a trap.
Torger's gonna go help Antyr.
okay. Yeah, you don't hear anyone coming.
Act dramatic. Oh.
Yeah, you look into the room and things are on fire and the desk is gone. A lot of the room is destroyed except for the bed. The bed's severely damaged a little bit, but yeah, everything in the room is basically done.
Antyr would have tried to cover the book with a successful deck
Yeah, the
save.
book's
would have tried to.
the book's fine.
Okay.
If you failed,
But
it wouldn't be.
Right.
But we heard someone walking above us.
That was Hopper.
No, that was Hopper walking
Hopper.
up the stairs.
Going up the stairs.
Oh,
You get a sense this whole
okay.
thing is important to Hopper, and they don't want to. They want to figure it out as
Okay,
quickly as
Ellie,
possible.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I
So
thought
you're gonna
there
take
was
the hand
someone
of Torger
else that was walking
It's
around.
it's fair to assume, but yeah, after the explosion goes off, if a couple minutes pass or time's passing, and no one comes rushing. Yeah.
Investigates. Yeah.
You get a sense
Okay.
this person succeeded in their mission. They mentioned that they can't wait to get to material plane. They succeeded in their mission, and they probably left.
All right.
Oof. Antyr's gonna kind of hobble with Torger's help. Get up. Shit.
Seems like
Holding
those
aside.
legs are pretty shaky right now.
Well, I avoided most of the explosion actually, but I made a mistake. I didn't let Creep do what Creep does. Apparently.
Also, that's what you get for sticky fingers.
Well, we're already here, but you're right. Well, you're not curious what was in the desk.
Most of
Wobbly.
the times, it's just papers inside the desk.
I use papers. I like paper.
No, I mean, we just need to make sure to check for traps, maybe, when we're... I mean, who would put a trap in their desk, though? That's just weird, but, I mean, I guess we gotta look for that type of thing moving forward.
Seems like in the place we are at, it's quite weird. Does anybody have anything that could relieve the pain?
Sorry, I got excited
I
when I
mean-
found what I was looking for.
I mean, you could always try to usurp a god and get cursed so that you're immortal, like the creep.
Oh, alright. I'll just stick to the back, and then
I'm posting the sketch of the tower that was in the book, or of the machine, the Orbis and Cora.
Ooh.
oh wow,
Now there's context.
that's pretty wicked.
Deposit blood here.
Insert blood here.
Insert blood here.
Well, this room is now empty.
Yeah. All right. Hobbling out to the next room, but not going in it next time. Monsters. Books.
Receive hemoglobin here.
Just wait. To the
Antyr.
Yes.
You just see Doe look at you, and their tongue kind of unfurls, and
May I?
Sure.
you just see Doe just tongue just goes across the side of your face just like this, and as they do that, they're just gonna cast Cure Wounds at the first level on you.
awesome.
Oh.
Somebody roll me a D100.
So you got 8 health back, so that's something.
That's hey. 2 blue. Max.
Just roll
It
it.
just feels like a little sticky after residue.
Sam, you got this one? D100?
Yeah.
Because they're still they're mimic it, so like, you know what I mean? Like that, like.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it kind of pulls the skin.
55. Fuck. Damn. It's not a fun one for me. It's a fun one for you all.
Yay!
I don't like that.
Anyone who's carrying a simple or martial weapon, any simple or martial weapons that some people are carrying, which actually isn't a lot of people in this party, actually, now that I think about it.
I have one.
Because Vonkar uses his
one.
fists, Torger has a weapon, but you know.
I have a martial arts short
Grin
sword.
has 2.
So, simple or martial weapons in this region, you watch anyone who has a simple or martial weapon, you watch as it begins to crackle, as long as it's non-magical, begins to crackle.
Okay.
For 1 hour, they have +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. So anyone who's got simple or martial weapons, so swords, daggers.
Also, my dagger and rapier just start crackling. Oh shit!
Yeah.
What about darts?
Darts count. Are
No,
darts
wait.
considered simple, or are they just considered range?
No, they aren't finesse. They're finesse. They're finesse.
Okay.
Oh no,
Oh.
they're also darts are also.
Oh, they are simple.
Yeah,
So yeah, your
Simple.
darts start to
Jesus.
crackle with.
Simple
All-
and martial describes
yeah.
every weapon.
That's what I was gonna say. All weapons are either simple
Yeah,
or
so
martial.
all weapons that aren't magical right now are crackling with energy.
Oh, I wanna ask
Yeah.
because underneath my unarmed strikes I have martial arts.
They're not simple or martial weapons though.
Great, just wanted clarity. Thank you so much.
You see Leek's frying pan starts to crackle.
Still counts.
His weapon of choice is a cast iron frying pan.
Amazing.
Hopper's crossbow. Oh, actually, yep, they don't have any enchantments on those, so the crossbow and short sword start to crackle.
Oof.
So +1 for an hour to attack and damage rolls on those weapons.
That's pretty sweet.
It's dope.
Attack and damage.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, well, that's nice.
And the creep is bashing in the next door.
Yeah.
Okay. The gnarled root walls of this large multi-floored chamber are filled with rows upon rows of massive chunks of jade. Rough-looking jade. Inside these chunks of jade are a variety of humanoids, frozen in fearful and pained emotions. Some of the humanoids have limbs and other parts of their bodies are missing.
Reminds me of Tears Lee.
And the floors are just these hunks of jade. There isn't anything else. It's just floors of these jade with people's bodies placed inside of them, and that looks like they've been slowly dissected over time for some reason. With what you found in the book, you can probably guess why. Fueled by blood.
Fuel.
It's basically fuel storage.
Jade room.
And all of the people look dead.
Fuel.
But something
Preserved,
they're
but
preserved
dead.
and dead. Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking more and more like home all the time.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, under the ice. Yeah, Clairstall. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Torger goes home to relax on the sofa. It's just jade, like prisons with people in them.
That's movies.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, so there's just the archway with the dais behind it that's currently glowing.
Sure.
This is terrifying. All right.
Yes.
Who goes first?
Creep, get moving.
Okay. So the creep goes for the archway. Does the creep step onto the dais?
I mean, if that's the next way to go, yeah.
Okay, so as soon as the
Easy.
creep like steps on the dais, they just disappear.
No, well, this is. Well, no, if he was dead, I would know it. So,
Yeah, he's not dead.
because I still got this chain.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Gonna look at the edge at the end of the chain. Where does it look like it's going to?
Nowhere.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and it doesn't indicate like.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Being the first one to go into a lot of battle seems like a pretty nice thing to do.
I'm invisible.
All
so
right,
I'll
sounds
go.
good. And Leek is gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Grin is
boy.
going in too since he's invisible.
Leek, I want to be nice. I like to be
Vonkar's
nice. And
gonna
Leek
chase-
just sprints into the archway.
Vonkar chases after Leek immediately.
Okay.
And Torger goes after Vonkar.
Okay.
So, was Hopper? Did
Oh,
Hopper run
Hopper's.
in?
Oh, yeah, Hopper be gone. Yeah.
So, I guess since you're the only one who wanted to stay, the cord unfurls a bit, and it wraps around Doe's wrist, and Antyr's going to cast Temporal Accelerant, which is Longstrider,
Roll D1.
on second level
Cool.
on himself or themselves and Doe. So
And then-
your movement speed goes up by 10.
And then I need a D100.
Oh, fuck off! I forgot that was a thing. I'll roll it since I did it.
Come on, get another
Uh,
99.
60.
Since there's only two of you, Antyr, you're 1 and 2. Doe, you're 3 and 4. Antyr.
Yay.
Swirling energy begins to swirl around you. Your hair is just like looking amazing, blowing in the wind.
Just wafting.
Your cloak is like billowing. For the next 24 hours, you have resistance to force damage, and your speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Oof.
Okay, that's okay.
So this energy is just constantly swirling around you. It's invisible, but you can. It's like faint, just.
So my movement speed boosted, but declined.
Went down by
and
10.
then I'm
So
resistant to
it's your
force.
speed is what it was at before you cast Longstrider.
Okay.
The
Right.
price of looking cool is 10
amazing.
feet of movement.
And yeah,
And as the billowing happens, Andrew's gonna like essentially slow jog as the wind is blowing back.
and then
Run
somewhere
to
on
the-
just right that you have resistance to force damage for 24 hours.
24 hours.
Okay. So as you all step onto the dais, you're whisked away. It doesn't feel like a plane shift, which none of you have experienced. This just feels like you step on. It doesn't feel like a plane shift. This feels like you step on one thing and you wake up somewhere. You're just somewhere else. You're whisked away to a large circular stone chamber with more desiccated root walls. The ceiling is about 100 feet up, covered in an intricate display of twisting, gnarled roots. In the center of the chamber is a 50-foot tall spire of gnarled roots and iron with a large 20-foot radius glass orb floating at the top, and is filled with blood that is sloshing around slowly and glowing with a dim red light, and the machine hums with a quiet intensity. It matches the sketch.
Is this the tree and roots you were thinking of, Torger?
No, it doesn't seems to fill me with happiness. It seems to fill me with like, yeah, I don't think this is the one.
Oh, just wait. Veins of transparent roots twist all around the machine that are filled with the same glowing blood as the orb on top. The veins start at the front of the machine, where there is a large oval-shaped hole filled with small blood-stained metal spikes. 6 pillars of gnarled roots rise up to the ceiling around the machine, providing structural support for the ceiling.
Yeah, there seems to be like some goo, and there's other like roots, and then there's looks like there's sort of thinner roots, and there's like all kinds of roots. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a whole thing that would want to go around the world. No, this seems like an angry tree.
Ah. Well, do you guys think we have enough information now? Like, I mean, what else can we do here?
Is there any way to get back as they've stepped through? Is there a way
You
to
look
return?
back, and the arrival dais isn't glowing.
Really, we didn't really think that all the way through, did we?
And you can like feel like the intensity of this machine, like this magical intensity, like it's potent.
Gonna flip through the book, try to find anything that could be relating to this room.
It was said that in the notes, it said that these machines were designed to anchor points of the planes of existence throughout the scattering into the material plane. So you get a sense this machine is anchoring this chunk in the material plane. This machine is responsible for what's going on. And it's fueled by blood.
If we disrupt this machine, it'll unanchor this area, which could be not great for us.
Yeah,
Yes.
not good.
You said the blood is just inside the ball, or is it?
It's inside the ball and the veins that are running around it.
But it's in a closed
Yeah.
circuit. Like there's no,
Yeah.
there's no like opening
No.
where you possibly smell it.
No. Well, maybe from the oval-shaped hole at the front where the spikes are. You guys know that's where the blood is put in.
Okay, so you could.
You can smell it a
those.
little bit, yeah. Like a faint
Okay.
tinge.
Okay. Yeah, I think that goo might be blood.
Is you're right.
Well, okay.
It definitely looks like it.
You know,
I mean, goo is goo.
and no one's got amazing passive perceptions in this group, not like last campaign. You do hear, like, it just sounds like, you know how when you're like walking in the woods and it's a windy day, you can hear the trees creaking. You can hear the creaking of like the roots and the branches, but it's mostly like up on the ceiling that you hear it.
Alright, so we gotta figure out a way out of here now.
Can Antyr try to inspect the dais to see if there's any way to like reactivate or activate or turn it on? Is
You
there an on
can-
switch.
There's no on switch. It's just off. Like it's not powered, or
Low end.
whatever spell was on it faded a long time ago. Or this was designed to be a one-way trip for whoever stumbled on the place. Whatever Antyr thinks.
Yeah,
Those are
it's a
just
little bit of
some of the
everything. It's-
possibilities.
This place is trapped and it's all fucky anyway, so. Alright,
Yeah, the machine is just making like this quiet hum.
I'm gonna let y'all make the call. I feel like we're stuck. at the moment.
Alright, but I mean, like, if we're stuck, let's look around a bit, see if there's a way to get unstuck. Right? All we know is that this thing is powering, like our presence, or this forest presence here. So, if, for instance, it's destroyed, then we all might get teleported back to the Feywild, which wouldn't be great.
We might just be left there when it all goes back.
all of the.
In which case we'll fall. I don't even know how far.
You look like
Down
you'd
to
fall.
Harengon.
Looks like you would land in a lake, because that's what all this is floating on. And the closest shore is about 8 miles.
I mean, I can fly, so I'd be fine. But
Yeah, we also at least got that one boat.
There is the
What was
rowboat.
that? Yeah.
You would know, like, if, say, that if you destroy the tower and this place goes away, the boat would. It may or may not go with it.
Part of the
I
house, like
mean-
the house is part of it. Yeah.
yeah, but like yeah, because that house and that old lady they got teleported with.
Maybe it won't be an instant thing. Maybe it'll be like a small, almost like a slow implosion, if you will. Like it'll maybe like fall to pieces and disappear slowly.
Well, before we get to that point, maybe we should just look around a bit more. See if we can't find like a switch to turn on the way back.
Take a look.
Alright, if you're all looking around, investigation checks from everybody.
Alrighty.
I hear 7.
Yes.
Okay. What's Vonkar looking for then to get a 7? Like, what does your like little check look like then?
Probably. We're looking for a switch, but Vonkar is probably like walking over to where those translucent roots are. And I don't. Are they movable? Are they mobile?
Yeah, they're like shiftable, but they're like
Yeah, he's probably-
filled with blood.
Yeah, he's probably just like shifting through those. Like, you probably get, if depending on how mobile they are, he might be like completely wrapped up, like one over his
Okay.
shoulder, just like digging through them, trying to put a switch under
Okay.
there.
What everybody else get for their investigation checks?
11 for
11?
Grin.
Nothing interesting.
Yeah, Creep got like a 4. So
Oh yeah. Antyr, what'd you get?
25.
25. Yeah, the tower is the only, or this machine is the only point of interest.
Operating.
No way to, you can't find a way to turn it off. It seems like when it was designed to, once it's powered, it's not turning off. Unless it's broken. Torger.
Torger got a natural 20 for 20.
So yeah, you'd come to the same conclusion as Antyr. There's nothing in here that's indicating anything else aside from that this machine is powering everything and there's no way to turn it off unless it's broken. Doe, what'd you get? Oh no, go ahead, sorry. Go ahead. Oh yeah, Doe, you don't find anything interesting? And sorry, yeah, what was Torger saying?
Well, just regarding the roots,
They're corrupted dark
Okay,
roots.
great.
Yeah. These are
So
not
they're
these are
corrupt-
not like healthy roots.
corrupted. Okay, could I even like would cutting into the roots cause any reaction?
I don't know. I mean, I know, but you can find.
I mean,
you can find out.
I think you know
Okay.
to gain some information.
So
it would
there's
be, like,
root roots, and then there's the transparent roots that are acting like blood vessels that Vonkar's like tied up in, and we'll say restrained.
Oh dear.
Well, I'd probably being honest, I'd probably like go over and like
Help him out.
try and help him out.
You can
Like,
help
do
him
what I
out.
can.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
I'm
help
not.
him
I'm not going to stop him from doing the thing.
But you can like you
Like, I
can get
don't-
him unstuck.
Well, I mean, like I also want to like
Yeah, of course.
while I'm doing that, check the roots. Like,
Okay. So
because I've been around roots.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I know about roots. I'd like to see
What's your favorite
what the
band?
deal is. Yeah.
So as you're getting Vonkar untangled and you're checking these roots out, yeah, there's the dark corrupted like wood. Then there's like these ones that have been made like translucent, which are filled with like rushing blood. And as you're like messing around in the roots with like trying to get Vonkar entangled, and you're also examining them. There's a loud noise of cracking wood and creaking roots near the top, where you've been hearing the creaking going along this entire time. And the roots on the ceiling begin to pull back to unveil a large shape. And shape is the best way to describe it because you hear, "Who has disturbed my slumber?" And this large shape just plummets from the ceiling, hits the floor with a heavy thud, cracking the stone around it. As the shape rises to its full 15-foot height, you see that it's a twisted amalgamation of arms and legs, sewn together to form a swollen, sore-covered, blob-like mass with a long 15-foot craning, wrinkled neck with the face of a drooling old woman at the end, with a mouth filled with thousands of small, needle-like teeth. And that's where we're going to go to break. And we'll come back in 10 minutes with everybody rolling initiative as you fight Grandmother Stitch.
Yep.
So, in my mind, the arena is like the Great Deku Tree from Ocarina of Time,
That's such a good
and
one. Yes.
and the monster is like the boss from that arena, but a combination of that boss and the one that's in the well, that's like the grabby hand thing with the neck.
Oh yeah. So before we actually go to break, I'm gonna switch you all to the battle map, and we'll get tokens all set up, and you can take a look at Grandmother Stitch.
Torger, you're gonna still have that D8, by the way, for your gift of alacrity.
So she
It's
would
an
have
8-hour
Really?
thing.
she would have
Yeah, it's
landed
8
right
hours.
here, and because
Oh, awesome.
y'all were stuck in the roots, she would have landed where you two were stuck in messing around with the roots.
Mm-hmm.
So you two are probably like right there. Everybody else, put your tokens where you'd like. The dais is all the way at the back, down. So anyone who's examining the dais would be over there. So Antyr would most likely be down there.
Probably, yeah.
Could you, Justin, put an invisible token on
Here, I'll make
Grin?
it. Just so I actually don't have to mess around with tokens. We'll just go like this. Because it doesn't actually make you invisible on here.
Yeah.
So let's do Grin invisible.
Cool. Thanks.
Leek would be... Fuck. He's a kid. He's a curious. Fuck it, he's over here. Hopper also is intent on figuring what the fuck's going on, so Hopper's gonna be up close. Wherever the creep's gonna be, the creep is. Everybody happy where
yeah,
they
the creep's
are?
just staying there. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I also want to ask one question before we go to break.
Yep.
Are we still within the hour of when we got the other buff?
Oh yeah. It's been
Okay.
like
So everybody's
it's been like 5 minutes.
Okay.
so everyone's still +1. Well, I mean, all weapons
Simple.
are +1.
All weapons are
and
+1.
plus
Plus one to
+1
hit.
to attack and damage.
+1 to hit, +1 damage. Yep. All
With a
weapons.
weapon.
Yeah, with a weapon,
So, yeah.
So I'm clarifying for myself.
Yeah. So not you, but anyone.
Well, if I use a
well,
weapon.
anyone who's using a weapon. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll be back here in 10 minutes to fight this big old blob grandma. With
Excellent.
the 15-foot long neck, which means she might have some reach. So, see you all
She
back here.
fights like a fucking giraffe.
Yeah. See you all back here in 10 minutes. There we go. Hello, everybody. We're about to fight an old grandma. And speaking of fighting ladies, I gotta get a song that's befitting of fighting a woman in a tower. So.
Now I just need you to play the Mother Gothel theme from Rapunzel, or Tangled, rather. Fighting a woman in a tower.
Gothel! Alright. So, let's roll initiative, everybody. Hopper got an 11, Leek got a 3, because Leek has -2, so you know.
Torger, you still have, just a reminder, you do still have that D8 for Gift of
Got you. Rolling that D8 now. So that's a 12 plus
Oof. This is some
8 for a dirty 20.
This is some rough initiative, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
14.
Gross. Natural 1.
Okay.
For a 7.
For a 7, yeah.
Alrighty. What'd Grin get?
I rolled for creep. Do you want me to have Grin be separate?
Yeah, familiars usually are.
Okay. Grin. Holy shit. Grin got a 23.
Wow.
But you know, because familiar,
Yeah.
he can't do anything on his turn, so I guess skip it.
Unfortunately. Endless is away, and so is Captain, so there's only one familiar in this fight right now.
I don't know.
Justin, just for clarification,
Yeah.
potentially, hypothetically, in the future,
Yeah.
because initiatives are technically dex checks, could I use a lucky if I wanted to?
Yeah, of course.
Can
You
I
can
use a
you can-
lucky?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Question, Justin.
Yeah.
Because of Grin
There we
being
go.
the unique
19.
instance of like role reversal for like familiar and
Yeah.
dude, would you say he has his own, like, he can use not he can't attack
No, I know.
on his turn, but can he just do what he wants as an action,
Well-
like if it's something other than attacking?
Let me see what the ruling is specifically for Pact of the Chain.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to.
Yeah, I know we're getting into some really weird territory, but I'll go with what your ruling is at the right now. But it is something I would like to kind of sort out and figure out.
Yeah, fuck it. He's weird.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
Creep's technically the one, or not? Grin's technically the one in charge, and not the Creep. So, so Antyr, what does that bring you to total initiative when you roll a 19?
That is it.
Oh, okay.
19 is my initiative.
All right. So Grin, you're first.
Cool. Grin is going to
Cool.
going to sorry, excuse me. So this old lady dropped in.
Yep.
Who
disturbed my slumber? And she seems more annoyed with Vonkar and Torger right now, not really focused on anybody else.
Can I? Oh, she's looking in that direction.
It
Can
appears like she is intent on focusing on the people who are currently like messing with the machine and tangled up in it, essentially.
Cool.
Which everyone
I
gets a
would
sense
like-
of.
Cool. I would like to see if I can.
Shit.
I want to see if there's any like she's just flesh and mass, right?
Oh yeah, just meat.
Okay. So it's not like there's going to be any weak points. It's all just meat.
It's a big old mass of meat
Yeah.
that's been stitched
okay.
together.
All right. Yeah, he's gonna run up. I guess he's gonna fly up there,
Okay.
Or no. No, he's just gonna take the dodge action. Sorry. My bad.
Alrighty.
Dodge action next turn. Sorry.
Antyr. Over there
Oh.
near the dais, you hear this, "Who disturbed my slumber?" And then, and you look over behind you and you see this big old fleshy grandmother. You see a little bit of the fleshy grandmother poking out from behind the pillar that you're technically obscured by.
All right.
Falling on some hard times.
So as a bonus action, Antyr, Doe would see Antyr, the chain or the cord unfurls, and you know those skippets that you used to have as kids. So essentially, the cord kind of goes down around the ankle, and as it unfurls, they essentially do like a skip it, like their foot goes over the other, and they're going to cast Frolic, which is essentially its kinetic jaunt.
Okay.
To get the 10 feet of movement speed back, or
Okay.
40 feet.
What level spell is that?
Second.
Oh, give me a D100,
Spells.
please. You're in a weird place.
Wild magic. Back to haunt me.
It's
65.
more like unraveling magic, but sure.
Got it.
What'd you get?
Makes sense. 65.
Each character in the region, which means the entirety of this spore jungle, suddenly learns some magic. Antyr, pick a wizard cantrip that every creature in this region learns. One wizard cantrip that everyone learns for 24.
Okay.
For 1 second.
I thought it was gonna be permanent.
For 7 days.
Okay. I'll look at the cantrips really quick. That would be fitting for Antyr. I'm just gonna grab
This
one of
will
the ones
include-
with
this will
Dancing Lights.
Okay, so this includes Grandmother Stitch. So
Dancing Lights, 'cause
everyone
that's-
can cast Dancing Lights as a cantrip, obviously, for 7 days. Everyone knows Dancing Lights. All right, Antyr. So that
Okay.
you do that. You do your
And then
spell.
40 feet, and so Antyr is going to move closer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 still gives line of sight, right?
Yep.
Antyr is actually going to hold a Hoarfrost beam.
Okay.
They're going to do an action, and they're going to begin casting. Oh, they can't. Never mind, because they're
right,
concentrating.
right.
They're just going to throw a Hoarfrost beam at this massive flesh.
At the
Grandmother Stitch.
Okay.
Ooh, we're at 11 to hit.
Just kind of gets lost in a blubbery mass.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay, that's gonna bring us to Grandmother Stitch,
Oh boy.
and she's angry.
Roll.
She's angry at the two Duergar messing about with the machine she's been ordered to protect. So she's gonna make 2 craning bite attacks, one on Vonkar, one on Torger. Just
Oh boy.
get away from the machine, you. And then she tilts her head. Meals. And the neck just like cranes outwards like E.T. and goes for a bite on Torger. Or Vonkar first, because you're the one who kind of did a little bit more.
Yeah.
For a 24 to hit.
Oh lordy. Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, I rolled good. 11 piercing damage.
Ow.
Just chomp. Bites into you. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, because fighters historically great at those. 11.
You're swallowed.
Oh boy.
Just and then gulps Vonkar down. You can see Vonkar like sliding down the gullet.
It's a long fucking gullet.
Yeah, 15 feet gullet. So you're just
Oh my god.
Vonkar, you're just sliding down the throat and you're blinded and restrained. And swallowed. Total cover against attacks originating outside. So you're protected by explosions and stuff in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the attack coming for Torger is going to be 13 to hit. Misses. Alrighty.
That's
Well,
a miss.
So she goes to bite and she just gets floor and just bites up the floor and starts like chewing up the chunks of the floor. So Vonkar, as you're sliding down, you can feel like pieces of like cement, just like or stone, like coming down with you. Guess what? It's Vonkar's turn. You're in the stomach, blinded and restrained. Yeah, in the belly.
I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't try it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna get big and see if I can.
So in large, I think there are rulings for getting big, as you can only fill the space. You can't get bigger than the space you're in.
Yeah. So the question is basically like, is she stretchy enough that like it expands?
You know what?
And forces her to puke me up.
She won't puke you up because there's specific ruling for creatures getting puked up.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
she is stretchy.
Mm-hmm.
Does Vonkar get long like Augustus Gloop?
So you guys, yeah. So are you doing enlarge first?
Giant's might, but yes.
Okay, so you guys see this. I'll say she's stretchy enough because yeah, Giant's might specifies you can't get bigger than the space you're in. So
Yeah.
you guys do see she's still so stretchy and like membraney. You see just this
The silhouette just gets bigger and
stretches the skin out. Okay, so you do that. Anything else?
All right. Yeah, and then I'm gonna make an attack.
Yeah, go for it. It's disadvantage because you're restrained and blinded.
Right.
But you're big inside. You're just and she's like, what the?
What can I like? So since I'm like stretching like from the inside, can like
Yeah.
my fist stretching out from the inside, like reach around to punch
Yeah,
her
of course.
in the face?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
From through her own just
Everybody,
alien style.
you can't see Vonkar, so spells that require sight of a creature aren't gonna work. But you can see his face like pressing up against the flesh, like he's sticking his face in like putty. And you can just see like the skin. She's an elderly woman, so the skin's loose. So you just see a fist like go clock her in the side of the head. Yeah, go for it.
Well, I'm gonna try. We'll see if I hit.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. One of those is really good, but it's a 12 with disadvantage.
Yeah, clock her, but there's the resistance with the skin folds, and you don't get purchase.
Yeah. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. That's gonna bring us to the creep.
Did everyone here get above a 20?
Wait, you rolled a 12 on the initiative. It says.
Plus 8. Because of the thing, I had a 20.
Oh well, I didn't hear that.
Sorry. It was plus 8 from the thing Antyr
All right,
gave
so
me.
take your turn now then.
Okay,
Torger.
sorry. We can just say I held it. Great. Then I'm gonna attack with the sword, probably on the thickest part.
All right, so add 1 to whatever you roll.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so that's an 18 total.
That'll hit.
Beautiful. Alright. So that's also a +1, so that's 7 damage.
All right, so as you slash into her, it looks like she is very weak to sharpness. She instead takes 14 instead of 7.
It is
And-
piercing damage.
Yep.
Does that make a difference?
She takes 14 as you stick it in.
Nice.
But as you stick it in, as you stick it into the old woman, some of the sores that cover her body burst. So there's a benefit to using piercing and slashing weapons against her, you find, but there's also a bit of a downside, as a lot of the sores on her body burst when you do that, and caustic pus sprays out, and you take 1 acid damage.
Okie doke.
Just 1, just. Bad for death saves. You're making death saves near her though.
Yeah, rough.
So yeah, that hits. Anything else for Torger?
Oh yeah, and then I'd like to do an unarmed strike as well.
Yeah, go for it. That is just a normal roll.
Mm-hmm. the 17.
That hits. You punch into her. Vonkar, you feel like you feel the punch reverberate through. Also, because you're pressing up right against her skin where she's being punched, so you feel the punch. Just poof. Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
And that is 6 damage.
Nice. She does not get that doubled, and the swords don't spray on you when you punch her.
So that's a total of 20 damage.
Yeah.
How's that affect the old gag reflex?
How does it work? She's fine. Rules for swallowed. It has to be the creature on the inside that deals the damage to get.
Oh,
cubed
really?
up. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It has to be the creature inside.
Okay.
It's not sources outside. It's sources inside.
Doesn't matter the age.
Fun
Spitters and
fact.
quitters.
That's right. All right. At the end of your turn, she's going to use a legendary action and do an ensnaring hand towards. You're within range, Antyr. You see, she launches a long worm-like hand covered in tendrils towards Antyr. It's like one of those sticky hands that you can slap things with, like you swing it.
Oh God!
And she launches one towards Antyr. Antyr, strength saving throw. You've been doing good on your strength stuff with wrestling with Torger, so you got this.
Not with a
10.
That's a 10.
All right, you're not restrained. You're not grappled. You're not restrained. You're just pulled 15 feet directly towards her. So 5, 10, 15. Just.
The hair is still wafting in the wind, but it's like double down.
All right, that'll bring us to the creep.
All right. Creep's gonna move to here and do a bonus action shove, but it's gonna be a pull in his direction.
Okay.
So
does it specify a size on that?
No.
Okay. Strength saving throw. She seems pretty good at those with her sheer mass.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think a 14's gonna do it.
Correct. That just fails.
Okay, so she's pulled how far?
5 feet.
All right, so
Nothing crazy. Just pulled 5 feet towards the creep.
Okay, so this way.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Vonkar, you just feel a shift inside, a slight shift. Yeah.
And action, Blade Ward.
Okay.
And he's just gonna use the rest of his movement to kind of encroach on their space.
Okay. At the end of your turn, legendary action, you're gonna make a bite attack on the creep. Actually, no. Torger. Torger's hurting her. Creep's just whoop. So yeah, Torger. That's gonna be a 17 to hit.
That is a miss.
She more floor, swallows more of the floor. Vonkar just definitely gets covered in stone dust now that he's bigger in there. Hopper is gonna run up. I think. Yeah. No. Nah. Hopper is going to see some of the floor that's getting. Actually, how does this work? Oh, it's in range. Sick. Seeing some of the chunks of the floor that she's been chewing up at landing, Hopper's going to cast Catapult on one of the pieces of rock and just launch it at the grandmother's head using their last using their last Artificer spell slot. Grandmother Stitch needs to make a dex save, which she is just, big old blob. It's going to be an 11 flat, which fails, so they take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
That's pretty good.
12 bludgeoning damage. Whack by a piece of rock that cracks her in the head. Oh, and D100, because that was a spell of... That was not a cantrip. 61. No, we just had that one. And I don't want to give people cantrips out the butthole.
Reroll it.
Oh yeah, let's do that. 71. Huh. Who is not behind cover? Vonkar is safe inside the belly. Vonkar is just safe inside the old woman.
And within range of Hopper, or what?
No, Vonkar is considered. No one
No.
can see Vonkar.
Right, but you said, yeah.
He's unaffected by effects outside, so he doesn't count. All right, let me just pick. There's an arc of lightning that manifests between two creatures. Hopper casts the spell, so it's going to be Hopper and Leek. Hopper and Leek need to make dex saves. Hopper, dex save, +4. 21. Leek has -1 to those.
Oh no.
16.
Hey,
Okay.
that's good.
He's
good
got
little boy.
he's got +1 on saves because of his cloak of protection. Otherwise, it would be -2.
Yikers.
So that's 4d. So that's gonna be 4d6 halved to both of those two. 12 halved to 6. So Hopper and Leek take 6 lightning damage.
Vouchers.
Okay. You just hear Leek yell. Ow!
It's like one of those.
Leek just got hit by lightning. He saw his friends get eaten. I need to roll something to see if he succumbs to the anger. I'm seeing if he succumbs to his anger, which is a thing that I have for fun.
Oh.
Does not succumb
Princess Peach.
does not succumb to the anger, which is good.
Who's Princess Peach?
That's Brittany.
Oh.
I kept it from last campaign. I'm like,
so
fuck yeah.
that catapult bonus action. Nah, it's too early for a second wind. They're gonna bonus. They're gonna just move up on the grandma. I think Hopper would do that. 5, 10,
Meanwhile, saying,
15.
"Are you responsible? You're responsible."
What are you talking about, little morsel? Doe.
Oh god.
You can't see Grandmother Stitch from where you are.
I cannot, but I can hear the ow.
And you-
Ow from the lightning damage.
And you can hear the grandmother just calling people morsels.
How bad would someone need a little bit of healing at the moment?
Everyone's looking.
I think
relatively
if
okay.
anything, someone's just maybe slightly above half, if at all.
Everyone's looking relatively okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's still weird doing healing shit.
It'll
I
be
just wanna
different
make
next round, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And it go 10, 15, 20, 30, because I get 10 more from
Yep.
Antyr. I feel like that's not gonna work, but at the exact same time.
What are you doing?
Okay, I have to see.
And
Okay.
then Leek is on deck, which is fun for me.
I was gonna pop my head around the corner, just looking at this thing, and Doe's just gonna go,
I don't think you need any more morsels of food over there.
and they're gonna
Rough.
cast Vicious Mockery.
It's a wisdom save.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a 13.
That fails, so they'll take 1 psychic damage.
And Vicious
Hey.
Mockery does something else.
Oh yeah.
They have disadvantage on their
And-
next attack roll.
Yeah! Yeah!
Anything else, Doe?
I'm gonna use the last bit of movement I have to go back behind cover.
Sure. Leek briefly gives into the anger, and you see his eyes spark a little bit with purple flame, and he shakes it off, and then just kind of goes back to his happy, childlike self. But for a moment, there's something malevolent there. And he goes, "Alright! You hurt my friends, I'm gonna hurt you, you big old head." And Leek is gonna wild shape. Oh, can he? Yeah, Leek's gonna wild shape.
Wow.
And Leek takes on the visage of a white water buffalo. No.
Great white buffalo.
Yeah, just a big old
Great white buffalo.
Great white buffalo.
Great white buffalo.
water buffalo.
Great white buffalo.
Because water buffaloes are the buffaloes that he would be familiar with. So he wild shapes into a buffalo.
None of you guys ever watched Out Cold?
Nope.
Nobody? No?
That's from.
So Leek wild shapes into this white water buffalo. Where is
It's from
this?
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh. And then
Wait.
it's going to rush towards...
It is from Hot Tub Time
And
Machine.
then
Damn it.
it's
I haven't
going
seen
to
Out Cold.
rush
I've seen
towards 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Rushing, so Antyr and Hopper both see Leek running, and then as he's running, explodes in a ball of fire into a white water buffalo and charges towards big old Grandmother Stitch. Because he's charging, he does get the extra damage on gore. So, with the horns, come on, Leek, +6 to hit. 12 misses. Fuck. Well, he's wild shaped as a buffalo. Can't talk. But he's a big old buffalo.
Great.
Well, you know. That'll bring us to the top to Grin.
Grin is going to try to shoot a
Okay.
little arrow at her.
Alright, +1 to your roll.
Okay. Right. I'll
Alright,
just
I
roll a
need to-
d20 here.
I need to go like this so I know. I'm just gonna put Torger off the map for right now.
That's 11 plus plus 6, so +7, that's 18.
That hits.
All right.
And double the damage because she's vulnerable to piercing.
Okay, so that's a total of 4 damage.
Okay, and as that hits, the sores burst. We'll get to that save in a second. The sores burst, and who's all within 5 feet? Hopper, Torger, the Creep, and Leek as a water buffalo. So Hopper, Leek, Torger, and the Creep all take 1 acid damage. And that one with water buffalo takes that. Was gonna wild shape into a Hadrosaurus, but I don't think a duck-billed dinosaur would be good in this fight. How do you? Oh, I thought I could manage the hit points a little better on here. Whatever. So 14. We'll just do that. Okay. Cool. And then, sorry, what does she need to do after getting hit by that arrow?
Constitution saving throw.
17.
That succeeds.
All right.
So nothing else happens.
Right.
And then
you'd
Sneeze.
become visible because you made an attack.
oh yeah, I didn't roll at advantage.
Now you can
well.
go for advantage. Might be a crit.
All right.
Double.
I'll roll one
And it would do
more,
double,
see if it's
yeah.
a 20. Not a 20,
All right,
but pretty high.
but you
All right.
are no longer invisible.
Correct. And I'm gonna move him over to. You getting that?
Okay.
Let me know when you're done so I can move him.
This tiny little arrow just
Yeah.
like barely noticeable,
Yeah.
but she's like, ah. There's like a little itch.
Yeah, it's almost like you.
Like
it's like a muscle pang.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I flexed too hard. Ow.
Yeah.
And he's gonna take some full cover behind
Sure.
here.
All right. Cool.
And just turn.
Alrighty. Cool. That'll bring us to Torger. You keep getting sprayed by this woman's. You keep getting sprayed by pus.
Yeah, it's totally gross. I'm going to end you right now.
Okay.
I'd like to aim an attack where I'm seeing Vonkar's feet.
Okay.
If there's any pressing about it, like just at the bottom of
Yeah.
near the throat part of it. I don't know how far down the esophageal lining this party member of mine is, but I'd like to take a swing at that part.
Go for it.
If that's cool. Beautiful.
With the sword or with a fist?
Oh, sword.
All right.
For sure.
So whatever you roll for damage, double it if you hit.
And add 1.
That's right. To both, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a 15.
15 just hits.
Oh, hee hee.
Nice.
Oh, I'm not getting a lot of damage. So that's 7, so 14.
14, and then everyone within 5 feet takes 1 acid damage. So Hopper, Torger, Creep, and Water Buffalo Leek. Another acid splash.
1 acid damage.
Which will eat at you. It'll eat away at you.
Then I'm going to use a key point
Mm-hmm.
for Flurry of Blows.
Go for it.
Which I believe, pardon me, at this level is 2 attacks, yes?
Yeah, 200 strikes.
That's totally gross! Alright, so I don't think an 8's gonna do it.
No.
Alright, then we got another one. What we got? And I don't think a 12's gonna do it
Nope.
either.
It's like you're punching gel. Your fists like sink into the putty a little bit.
I was gonna say I wanted to slap it. If you've ever worked at like a pizza place.
Oh,
like
I work at a pizza place occasionally.
like a big
so.
ball of dough.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. All the time when I take.
I'm
out a
dating
mixer.
myself, but I've in my head it's like that gack
Oh yeah.
that makes the fart noise. When
Yeah,
you...
yeah. We put it in the container. Anything else, Torger?
I'm going to. I'm gonna fly up about 15 feet, stay within the
So
thing.
still
but,
within
like,
our reach. Okay, so you're up in the air.
Fly up into the air to get like face to face.
Oh, right at the face. Hell yeah.
Right at the face and go, and just kind of hover there, and just be like,
All right.
what do you
Whoa.
want?
All right. Torger. 15 feet up. Excellent. So you're 15 feet up in the air, looking at the grandma's face.
We
see-
just wanted to know about the goo.
I love it when my food fights back. Maybe you'll give me indigestion. I'll enjoy it.
Oh. Maybe you needs to eat a mint first.
Your other friend's gonna come out liquidy.
Oh.
And speaking of liquid, Torger, the acid in her stomach starts to dissolve you.
Vonkar probably.
Vonkar.
Yeah.
The acid the acid in her belly starts to cook you a little bit, and you take 9 acid damage.
Owie.
And I need a concentration. Oh no, you did the Rune Knight once. There's no concentration required.
Correct.
So yeah, 9 acid damage, just and it's your turn.
boy.
Oh no, it's her turn. Sorry, that happens at the start of her turn.
Okay.
She got some people surrounding her. I like that.
Uh-oh.
The neck is gonna go like this, like it's broken, like there's no bones in it. It's just gonna crane completely backwards, like to like upside down look at the people behind her, kind of like a Spider-Man kiss from the first Spider-Man movie. Just and as she's doing that, she's gonna spit a globule of phlegm where in a 20-foot radius. So I need Leek as the water buffalo, Hopper, and Antyr to make Constitution saving throws as this caustic ball of mucus explodes. Just So con saves for Leek, Hopper, and Antyr. Hopper got a natural
he's
1
lucky.
for a 7.
I'm not dealing with that. I'm gonna reroll that. Oh my god.
Oh no. Let's
It
see.
literally spun on 15 and went.
Alright. Let's see how Leek does with a +3. 16. Okay. Okay. So Leek succeeds. Yes. Antyr and Hopper take 6 acid damage. Antyr, you're concentrating on a spell, correct?
Well,
So, DC 10.
it's an 11,
You're
so I
fine.
succeed.
And what'd you get on your save?
I failed it. So
No,
I
what'd you
took
get
6.
total?
Oh, 8.
8. Suddenly, black, fluid-filled boils cover your entire body. Just
Oh no.
Okay. What Hopper get total? Same for
Nice.
Hopper. Hopper's also covered in boils that stick up a little bit under the rabbit fur. Just. And Leek takes 3 acid damage and does not get boils. That's good. They're very painful to touch if you have them. Oh, and she recharges that too.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't these so yeah, Andrew, looking at the boils you have now, they are almost like they're ready to rupture and spread. Like that's how bad they are when they immediately manifest. So that was her action. That's her turn. Vonkar.
All right. Well, let's get punching.
Go for it.
Disadvantage. Go ahead and roll. 11.
Misses.
All right. Action surge. We're gonna do it again. Oops. Wrong thing. Because I got nothing better. Because I'm dying in here. Let's try again. No, nat 1. All right, cool.
No.
And second wind, so I don't die.
Okay.
Nine health back. Cool.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Next fight, Vonkar. Get the fight.
Oh no! The creep. You can always go one more size.
Creep's
No, I
gonna
can't.
go.
I used it today already. That was the
Yeah.
last
Oh
fight when I fell
right,
asleep.
I forgot it was the same day.
Creep's
Yeah.
gonna move to here and cast lightning lure. Strength saving throw.
All right, that's a cantrip, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, strength saving throw. 18.
Damn. All right. So nothing happens. End of turn.
Okay. Hopper. Let me see how these sores work, just so I remember. Okay. What's Hopper gonna do? Oh, Leek could have done something to help. Fuck. Leek could have done something to help Vonkar, and now I'm really sad that I didn't think of it. Hopper's just gonna slash with the sword. Make more acid spray, but I mean, vulnerable. 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 1 is 16, so that hits. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 14 piercing damage. Oh man, it's constantly 14s. And then, yeah, another spray, so Hopper, Creep, Torger, Leek, 1 acid damage.
Creep's like 15 feet away. Is that?
Oh, your token hasn't moved for me. Never mind.
And I wanted to ask, it still counts if I'm up in the air. This is like a 15-foot dome. Like
Oh.
it makes, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm up in.
she's a
is there,
15.
like 5.
Yeah, you're still within 5 feet
She's-
of her.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
within, maybe 1 squirts off the neck. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it.
It's all creatures within 5 feet, and you're within 5 feet. Alright, so acid. Acid. Okay.
Sitting here grousing about 1 damage while we got Vonkar inside that throat.
Action surge. Short sword again. Because, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a 14 plus 6 plus 1, obviously that's going to hit. Oh, man. 1 plus 4, 5 plus 1, 6, doubled to 12. And then, again, Torger, Leek, Hopper, 1 acid damage. Man, Creep's token still hasn't moved for me. That's wild.
Yeah.
And the Buffalo is looking rough. They don't have a lot of hit points. Oh, that's how you manage the hit points. Oh. Never had to handle this kind of stuff before.
What size is Gema Stitch?
Gargantuan.
Ah.
Or, no. Huge.
Okay.
That was Hopper. At the end of Hopper's
I
turn.
think my turn was skipped.
It definitely was.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I was
a lot
trying to
of
do my math here.
a
I was
lot
like,
of the
wait.
tokens on this encounter tracker are blending in. Antyr, sorry, what would you have done?
Right. No, all that's good. Antyr is having a crisis, being covered in these boils. Is going to run away.
Okay.
5, 10, 15. Has Frolic still, so no attack of opportunities.
Oh, fuck.
And as Antyr kind of goes
Very
and
good.
presses himself up against the wall, the eyes just flare and there's heavy panting as silver bolts just the motes of eclipse.
Magic
are gonna
missile.
be cast. Yes.
Go for it.
First level.
Which means we're gonna get a surge.
So that's 3 times 3 is 9 force damage.
Nice. And then D100 for me, please.
It's violent. 15.
15. Oh shit. Okay. This could be interesting. The region. So Vonkar counts as a creature in the region. Because it's the entire place. There's 9 people. Vonkar is going to be 1, 2, 3, 6. Just looking at my overlay. Vonkar. Luckily, this might not be terrible for you.
Oh, that's comforting. This might not be terrible.
Everyone turns into antacids?
No.
Happening.
You feel like
Stat.
Vonkar, you feel like you're about to be covered in a resilient sphere.
Huh.
Do you choose to accept or no?
You know, yeah, honestly, because
Okay.
it'll keep me from dying of acid.
A
burn.
sphere of shimmering force encloses you. And since you're larger,
So
smaller,
the silhouette inside her just goes boom, and she has like a frog swell now.
and you're
Like
larger,
she tried to swallow a jawbreaker.
you're larger, smaller, so yeah, you are enclosed in the sphere. Not physical objects, energy, or other spell effects can pass through the barrier in or out. You can breathe. You can't damage anything outside of it. Are you sure that you...
Yeah, you know, because otherwise I'm just sitting in here and whiffing constantly, taking acid damage.
Antyr, are you currently concentrating on a spell?
Yeah, the Frolic.
Okay, Autoluke's Resilient Sphere is concentration, so you lose Frolic, and you're now concentrating on Autoluke's Resilient Sphere.
It's okay. Do I understand this is happening, or is it just?
You feel like you feel your spell end, and then concentration happen on another one, and then that's when you see the.
Antyr's smart enough to maybe make the connection, but they're in a full panic mode as they've essentially gone, and their eyes are wide as they're looking, like shaking.
You know what?
Looking at the boils.
Bubble boy.
Because there's a lot of weird stuff happening in her stomach. Wow, she vomits up Vonkar in the Resilient Sphere.
It is literally like
to
Jawbreaker.
dislodge her
where
jaw
the-
so much.
Yeah, it's like a
for
snake.
10-foot wide sphere
Just-
to come out.
Pukes it out, and it's just boing, and it's weightless too, right? So
Yeah.
boing, 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 boing.
Oh, hello everyone.
You just see this slime-covered ball of force right here, and you're large right now, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you're right here. Big old ball of gross.
So you're just hovering under where Torger is standing. Like
Yeah.
there's like maybe a foot or half or less between the top of your spear and the bottom of my dangling feet.
So, Doe, what are you doing?
I'm just hearing this fantastic regurgitation.
Oh, sorry, Antyr, were you doing anything else? Okay.
Yeah, actually, no. Antyr would be like shifting, like trembling to get away.
Okay.
A little bit.
Doe.
I'm just standing behind this, hearing all this shit, hearing the regurgitation, a little quiet. Just kind of pop my head back around, just like, what the fuck? Our lady who just turned into a spitter, therefore a quitter, how bad does she look from Doe's eyes?
Not bad.
She just looks a little haggard.
No.
I meant from just throwing up.
Looks like she's used to it.
Was it
Professional spitter.
Yeah.
was it Antyr that got hit twice and it hurt a lot?
No.
Because it was a lightning
mean,
damage, and I thought he got hit with something
was-
else after.
No. Hopper's the only one that's looking
Oh, I thought
Hurt.
Vonkar wasn't looking too good.
20 of 31.
Yeah, 20 out of 31.
Hopper's at
Second
15.
He's in
okay.
an
Hopper's at 15 of 31. Hopper's the only one that their token has changed to a different color because of how injured they are.
Is that in range of?
I don't know if you can see them.
You can't see Hopper. Grandma Stitch is too big. Can't see Hopper.
Ah, she too thick.
And Hopper's like 3 feet tall. So yeah.
Yes. I will go. Even if I manage to make my way to the other side of this thing, I still won't be able to see because of the white buffalo, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We're just gonna see if this works. 60 feet.
What are you doing?
If there was a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point, would it just include our thick girl because of how big she is?
Depends where you're positioning it. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to cast Shatter.
And it's a what is it? It's a radius sphere.
10-foot radius sphere centered on a point.
So if you center on her, it's going to be 10 feet in all directions from her. So it would hit. I believe it would hit. No, she's 15 by 50. So yeah, you could do it.
You could get this, yeah.
But but keep in mind, you could also you can also damage support pillars for the ceiling too, and there's that.
Everybody's so evenly spread around her.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
Did it?
It's Doe. What's Doe doing?
I'm just going to fuck no, that's a bad idea. I don't want to come this. I'll just do another vicious mockery.
Okay.
So if you did it right where I'm pointing, you'd miss both pillars and everybody else.
Too late.
And just hit her.
12 on the
That
wisdom save.
fails. She takes 4 psychic damage and a disadvantage.
Yep. Now she's looking hurt.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. Just gonna scoodle my boodle over there.
5, 10, 15. Oh, look at that. You're within range as you scootle away. So attack of opportunity.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Craning
Oh,
height,
listen,
15
15,
feet.
15 feet?
Yeah.
Damn.
So attacking
She
of
got
opportunity.
neck.
That's going to be a 12 to hit, though.
That probably. Oh no, it
misses.
doesn't hit. Wow.
And it would have been disadvantage on her next attack. So this is the vicious mockery happening right here. So let's see what else it would have been. A 12 again. So yeah, 12. Oh wait, 12 plus 6. I just used the die total. So that'd be 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Yeah, that helps.
And you don't have any sores, so you're good. You're not going to take an extra damage. So you take 11 piercing damage
This is fine. This is fine.
and dexterity save.
Actually, that might not be awful.
DC 15.
17.
You're not swallowed. So you get to where you're going.
Ugh.
So it's just going along and it's just like she like gets smacked around a bit and just like a couple of the teeth come out and she's just like
Anything else for Doe?
that's it.
Alright. Leek is going to try to do another gore attack. A 10's not going to do it, though. You can't use class options unless as in wild shape, and you can't cast spells unless you're already concentrating on one, so that's Leek's turn. So I think that's going to bring us to a legendary action, and we're going to get a bite attack on Torger.
15 feet in the air.
14 to hit.
That's a miss. That's a sort of a
Alright.
spin
Grin.
move midair.
That'll bring us to Grin. And then
Nice.
Torger's on deck, then Antyr.
Yeah, Grin's gonna move 5 feet over to here, and take a short bow shot at them.
Go for it. +1 to the attack and to damage if you hit.
Natural 20.
Alright, so it's a crit, so
That's 3, so 6 damage.
yep.
Total of 6 damage.
Do
Constitution.
you roll for
sorry.
that? Do you roll for that?
No,
Okay, so it's just 6 damage. Right?
because it's normally just 1 damage.
Right, so yeah.
Oh, so you added the extra 1 for the
Yeah.
upped. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but then
righty.
like because it's a critical,
Yeah.
it's just another 1.
So Constitution. Man. It seems like she's good on con and strength saves.
Yeah. Alright.
So 20,
Well, I mean, that's just
20
how it is.
23.
All right.
Anything else for Grin?
Yeah, he likes the material plane, so he's just gonna
Sure.
go back into full cover.
She's gonna look down at Vonkar and say, "Trying to eat you has given me muscle spasms."
Oh, he also did piercing, so I think that does right the AOE. From the piercing damage.
Correct. Vonkar, the dome just gets splashed by acid and just like drips down the outside of it. Torger takes 1 acid damage, Hopper takes 1, and the Buffalo takes 1.
Jeez, Garrett, whose team are you on?
I'm on our team, guys. I want us to win.
I know.
Hopper's been slashing at this thing too, but you know. The Buffalo's at 10 of 15 hit points. So they've only taken 5 splashes. Alright. Torger and then Antyr on deck.
All right, so the Torger is going to take a slash right across their face
Okay.
with that sword. So that's going to be face slash, and that comes to a 24.
That hits.
And that comes to a 9, and with slashing, so that turns
18.
into an 18.
Ooh. And then Torger, Hopper, Leek, 1 acid damage.
All right, and then I'm gonna use another key point for flurry of blows again.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
This buffalo's just soaking up all the acid.
14.
Miss. Is that +1 with your? Oh no, sorry.
Oh,
sorry. It's
that
not.
would be
It's not.
15.
It's not a weapon.
Oh,
14,
yeah.
14 misses.
Okay, so then 25.
That hits.
The next one.
You punch into the jello.
Yeah, so it's a sword, then a swing, then coming back around with the back of the hand thing coming around, hit it right across the side of the face. With 5 damage.
Excellent.
Great.
She's looking a little more hurt now. And anything else?
Pum. No. Not gonna move. Gonna stay right there, right up in her, all up in her kitchen.
All right, Antyr, you sense that you're concentrating on Resilient Sphere, which is now encased Vonkar. It's your turn. What are you doing?
All right, Antyr is going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Doesn't have Frolic anymore. Oh, so wait, no, then healing is 20 feet of movement.
Yeah, because you have the reduction from earlier.
Thank you. Yeah. Change that, so put it back 5 feet.
So let me double check
Back
how long
5
that.
feet.
Let me double check how. Well, that lasts for 24 hours.
Right.
You're just this billowing.
Yeah, then that
for
movement.
24 hours.
Yeah, with that movement, I forgot about that movement speed reduction. Then yeah, Antyr would kind of just move up in this way, and is the lighter, the silver is still engulfed in the eyes. The violet is gone.
Oh, and creep is. I think creep is still glowing.
That is another casting of Motive Eclipse, and that is 4 times 3 is 12.
All right, roll me a d100.
Force damage. Just love this shit. Do it to myself. 93.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Moving on.
Yeah. Going to bonus action, Starlight Step, 30 feet, so that would be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just a sprinkle of starlight appears next to Grin, and then as they get there, they're going to stop concentrating on the orb.
Okay, so Vonkar is no longer encased in the Resilient Sphere. Alright. That's going to bring us to the Stitch Mother. And then Vonkar. She sees the sores on Hopper and is going to make a biting attack on Hopper and Torger because they've been slashing away at this grandma. So for Hopper, as she goes for Hopper, she says, "You're going to taste so much better and it's going to hurt so much more." And she's going to go to bite Hopper. For a fucking 8 to hit.
Oh.
Just poof. So that means no double damage because of the sores. And then she's going to coil around and go for Torger. For a 16. And that misses. So
that is a miss. That is a miss. Yeah.
Poopy. Alright. Vonkar. You're 5 feet shorter than this old woman now.
Alright.
And it's your turn. No more restrained or blinded. You're out and about.
Let's go. Let's see if I hit. Come on, dice, be nice. No, they're not. That's a 10.
Oh man. Okay.
Cannot roll above a 10 now that I just at all.
Do you have any bonus actions for Vonkar there? Or?
No, I've used them all.
Oh. Okay. Fuck, that's rough.
Yeah.
Legendary action.
When you're a fighter and you're sucking at fighting, it's not. A lot else you can do.
Legendary action's gonna go for a bite on Hopper. Wants to get that double damage in. fucking 9 to hit. Don't feel bad. She's not biting anybody either. And that's gonna bring us to the creep.
Deck save. Sacred Flame.
4.
You see the creep's one eye flares up and like a pillar of fire just kind of engulfs the space that the creature is in.
All right, roll me some damage.
Let's see how much radiant damage they take. 1 radiant damage.
All right. Anything else? She's looking more hurt now. Anything for the creep? Anything else?
No, he's not using that bonus action. That's gonna be for Grin.
Okay.
Since Grin's the damage dealer, I guess. Grin. I swear, Grin has had more crits in the last 3 sessions than any of my other characters ever.
Bonus action. Hopper's gonna.
His crits are only 2.
Yeah, it's rough. Hopper's gonna second wind, and get 5 hit points from second wind. And then Hopper's gonna short sword attack. Come on, Hopper. Oh wait, 8 plus 6 is that an 8 or 3? 8 plus 6, 14 plus 1, 15, so just hits. For 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 1, 11 slashing damage. Because of the double. Wait. My math. No. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 1 is 11, doubled. 22. Holy! Hopper just takes a big old chunk out of his grandma, and more acid sprays out. And Vonkar, Torger, Hopper, and Leek take 1 acid damage. So just, just a little splash. Man, this is something. And a Hopper's turn. Gonna use her last 2 legendary actions to do another ensnaring grabby hand. We got 15-foot reach on that bad boy. 15-foot reach. Fuck. Antyr's too. Creep's close.
Yeah.
It's gonna go 5, 10, and pull creep right up to melee, so right within 5 feet. Just. Oh, sorry. Strength saving throw. It's not automatic.
Oh. Let's see. Well, that's a 9.
Okay, you're pulled with it right up front.
Front row seats.
All right, Doe. Now there's just everyone surrounding her. What are you doing?
Oh,
What do you got for me?
15. You know what? I'm gonna go over here, and if I can center shatter on a way that's not gonna hit the fucking...
I mean,
There's probably not a way to do it.
Yeah, everybody's just surrounding her.
Everyone's
There was
surrounding.
when Vonkar was in the sphere, but now he's out of the sphere.
There's no way to do it without hurting your friends.
15.
If Torger wasn't up in the air, you could center it up in the air, but because Torger's in the air...
That is fair.
What do you got, Doe?
Don't get close in the... I play a bard. I don't have high AC. I need to keep reminding myself, don't go in there.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
That's not gonna help us. That will
I mean, it might... Sorry.
Against my better decision, because it's that sword. It hasn't been an hour, so my rapier still has a +1 to hit. Right?
Yeah, it's been nowhere near an hour.
Yep.
We're just gonna see. Fucking my little slimy ass tongue's gonna, just lick my lips, get a little bit closer.
You're gonna lick the grandma.
I'm not gonna lick the grandma. I'm going to pull my sword out with my tongue,
Okay.
grab it with my hand, and I'm gonna attempt to
Go for it.
hit this person with my rapier.
Go for it.
Rapier.
My rapier.
There's a
My
push with a
rapier.
hit.
Go
So it'll be 17 total to
That
hit.
hits. Roll damage.
And it'll be it'll be 10 piercing damage.
11.
Well, yeah, because the +1 to
11
hit and
piercing damage.
Okay. Plus doubled to 22.
22.
She had exactly 22.
Ah!
So, as you kill her, she does let out a one last spurt of acid. So, Vonkar, Torger, everybody but Antyr, 1 acid damage.
Yuck.
And Doe, how do you want to do this?
As Doe like pierces into her and it's going through like butter, you just see Doe kind of go in there with their tongue.
Ew.
And it's like pushing it out of the way to get through more of like the meats and the guts and to like
Great.
like pushing away the fat, just like
Great.
getting through those muscles and those tendons.
Yeah. As you kill her, she stumbles backwards, grips onto the machine, and says, "No, no!" And her immense size that she's trying to get away from all of you takes the machine out with her as she tumbles back. The machine crashes to the floor and shatters and breaks. And as it does, the entire tower shakes. And then, with a horrific sucking noise, the jungle and the tower vanish through a little pinprick hole. And as it does, you all drop about 50 feet, falling 50 feet towards the lake. Hopper doesn't have any more spell slots, so they can't do Featherfall. Does anybody have Featherfall and spell slots to do so? 8 miles from shore. There is no more. You don't see the boat because the boat got taken with the domain. 8 miles from shore. You're all plummeting towards the water. If I don't hear anything within the next couple seconds, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I mean the creep's just gonna use the telekinetic shove on themselves, to keep them.
You'll still take falling damage, but not as much. And you're falling into water, so it's gonna function a little differently than falling onto something hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get to. I assume I'm going to assess that the big guy would be too.
You're
big
falling.
for me
You're
to
falling
carry.
50 feet, so it needs to be something you can do super quick, because it's a quick fall.
I can fly.
Yeah, I know.
And move 40 feet.
You have enough time to
with-
grab one person.
Right. So I'm going to assess that I can't get big guy, and
Nope.
I'm going to probably end up grabbing Hopper.
Okay, so you can prevent Hopper from taking fall damage
Taking
into
any
the water.
damage, yeah.
Okay, for everyone falling into the water,
I'm grabbing my mock shitten and just panic strum and casting fly on myself.
You do have to play a song on it to cast spells. You can't just go to do something with it. The thing is a little weird in the
Do you ever do
wording.
sandstorm?
You play the instrument and cast one of the spells. Did you cast fly through it within the last couple sessions?
I'm casting fly.
Did you already do it
through
through the last couple sessions though? Because you can only do it once per dawn with that thing, the spell. I don't know if you've cast fly yet with it
Not that I remember.
this day. Okay, cool.
Don't know that they have.
We'll say no then. Are you, and you are attuned to it, so you don't take psychic damage for trying to play it. Okay. Yeah, so you cast fly on yourself. So everybody but Torger, Doe, and Hopper Also, this ox is
Leek.
falling. Yeah, Leek's taking it too. So everybody but Doe, Torger, and Hopper. As you fall into water, where is that ruling?
And
Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say, I don't know if it'll make a difference because I know it's like surface tension is the problem when hitting
Yeah.
water. Would Vonkar be able to like go into more of a dive? than
That's
hit
what this
first
check is
point?
for.
Oh, okay.
That you're about to do. It's having the damage, not
Oh, well, I was
negating
gonna
it.
say, hit and break the surface tension for everybody else, so they fall in
No.
the
No.
That'd be sweet.
So everybody but Doe, Hopper, Torger, strength or athletics or acrobatics checks. So creep, Grin's fine because Grin can fly. So creep, Antyr, Hopper, or creep, Antyr, Leek, Vonkar.
Antyr's having a crisis right now.
Athletics, so it's gonna be the bull's strength, which is +4, which is the same as Leek's. So
Oh,
it's
wait, no, I have
athletics,
one
shit.
more of these.
It's athletics,
I'm
so it's
going
+4. So Leek got a 12, so Leek failed.
I'm going to use my reaction to Chronal Shift because I rolled a 4. I don't know if that's Caesar failed yet, so I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
For 15, that's better.
15. Just succeeds. You'll half the damage as you splash. Creep, what'd the creep get?
4.
The creep takes the full falling damage into the water, but because of your
Yeah.
cantrip, we'll say you fall 40 feet and not 50.
Okay.
Vonkar, what'd you get?
18.
18, so you have this as well. So we're going to do the creep's falling damage first, because he's falling technically a different height than everybody else. And it's into water. Creep, you take 13 halved to 6 bludgeoning damage. Or no, you failed to save. You take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Splash! And
Are
then
we...
for everybody else, so Antyr, Vonkar, and Leek. Vonkar having this. Antyr, 14 bludgeoning damage.
And half it because I rolled 15.
Right, so 7. Vonkar, 7.
Did my boils do anything?
No. Leek, as the water buffalo, takes 14. The water buffalo has 7. So Leek takes 7 damage himself. He's not looking so shit hot. As you all splash into the Lake Shadowmare, the one you saw on the map, the one that Vonkar dug to, you look around. Far off in the distance, the nearest shore on the horizon is 8 miles away. And you are in the middle of a humid, tropical rainforest. Swimming 8 miles would roughly take 8 hours, and as per the rules, you can't swim all day. We'll just say you can't do it. So, we'll figure out how you guys